Stand by. The BRN goes worldwide at 6 a.m. Eastern.
Attention, BRN affiliates. Showtime in 90 seconds. Showtime in 60 seconds. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
We are not going to gouge you any extra money.
Ain't nobody gouging me on eggs. I got my own chickens. I get like 14 eggs every 4 days.
How much would you sell me a dozen for?
No, man.
Well, come on.
I barter my eggs. I trade them out with this one guy. He's got hogs, and he gives me hog meat, and I trade out some eggs for the hog meat.
I got baseball cards and marijuana.
Yeah, I don't do either one of them.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Welcome. Monday, February 10, 2025. I think the majority of us, and hell, probably anybody that happens to be watching or listening to the show right now, are probably somewhat, I don't know, as you'd call it, a hangover. I'm sorry, Super Bowl hangover. Because, you hung on and you watched it because you thought Patrick Mahomes might pull something out of his ass. But the front four from the Philadelphia Eagles decided to tell you otherwise. Man, they won the game. I mean, they sacked Patrick Mahomes, I think, 5 times without blitzing.
Right. They had controlled the they controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the field, and they just dominated. They dominated.
They gave Hurts enough time to throw teardrop bombs. And, Saquon Barkley was a big enough threat to keep Chiefs on their heels. And then, my Lord, the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles just got that ass.
They sure did. And it got to the point where the refs couldn't be a factor in the game.
Well,
Yankee Jim, $10.
They tried at the beginning.
We'll talk a lot about the game today. There's really not a lot to talk about other than it was just a total domination. Probably the most lopsided one-way Super Bowl that I've seen. 27, was it 24 or 27, Lummy? to nothing going into. Was it 27-0 going into half?
It's 24-0, I believe.
Thank you, Lummy.
It was 24.
Thanks, Dan. I was asking for Lummy.
I couldn't. He was floundering.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Please don't make it the Dan and Bubba show.
Okay.
Let's just try to.
It was 24-0 though.
I had to do the same thing to Tuttle. Mike Tuttle, stop being first in every time. It's not me and you have a conversation. It's all of us. So anyway, was it
24-0.
24-0. I don't know that Mahomes has been down that bad ever.
I believe he did it, and I believe that he didn't get any first downs in the first half.
It's
Man,
incredible.
He just looked. So I like that rookie. What's the kid's number 33?
Oh, Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, that was a hell of a pick.
They don't. It's not something they're going to talk about, but I mean, he's like Jason Sehorn. I don't think there's another white corner in the NFL.
I don't think there is.
I don't know if they have him playing safety. I know he's a corner in college, but
and he's a rook.
Yeah, well, yeah.
From Iowa. Wow. Speaking of white people, where were they? Am I the only person? Am I trying to be any one which way or another? But I am the only person from the time that they started the Black National Anthem to before the Black National Anthem, they had this big tribute, I guess maybe to New Orleans, and they had all these African American bands, which really are good.
A lot of the musicians in New Orleans are black.
I understand that, but your audience are you pandering to the city, or do you have 205 million people that are watching this presentation, and you should probably get maybe a better composition of what your audience is instead of just, that was the most black Super Bowl I've ever seen. Well,
they had a white girl sing "God Bless America."
Okay, great, with a Lady Gaga kicker. Take those two performers and count it as two people, and then look at the opening ceremonies, which were all African American bands and African American booty dancers. And
how much of the pre? I didn't watch any of the.
I watched it all.
Oh, okay. So, man, this sounds like a lot of boring stuff.
It was just like, I don't get it. And then they did the Black National Anthem, and doesn't the Black National Anthem just kind of, I don't know, kind of divide our country in itself? What if they said, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the white national anthem, which was composed by a white guy, and our country started out with white people. It's the Star Spangled Banner, written by a white man.
That's what they kind of say about the Star Spangled Banner.
Well, no, it doesn't. It's about our country.
I'm just saying.
It's about how our country started, and our country started mostly with people from Great Britain. That's how our country started.
This has been
we're going to change our history now so that we can be inclusive. Why can't we just be? I don't know that you can be. I don't think you can be factual anymore. I think you got to, in this stupid ass world that we live in. Inclusive is more important than factual.
I'm not trying to counter program here, but the argument is that the factual part isn't really the factual part, and it was biased because the victors write the history.
Okay, then go ahead and tell me what the actual facts are.
Wow, I wasn't there, and so no one really knows. But
nobody. There has to be somebody that says, okay, we didn't come over on three ships, and we didn't fight for our independence. Against when the king sent troops over here and said, I'm not going to let these people be a bunch of wild free people. It's still going to be under English rule. And obviously our forefathers and settlers of this country formed a militia and defeated them. I think that's fairly factual. Is
that
it not?
That part's 100% factual,
okay.
Bubba. That part's 100% factual.
All right, now if you roll us back before we were a country, then obviously we were a geographical area that was made up of Native Americans for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's who was most, I think, early on, the earliest record of the type of people that lived in America were indigenous to America were Native Americans. Now, a bunch of British men and families came over here to get away from. This is the way that I know it. And Dan, you're far more educated than me, so stop me, please, in my tracks if I'm stupid. Then a bunch of people in England hated the way the king was boss hogging his. I'm going to make a Bubba and put my own language on it, but the king was being a real dick, and you could never speak against the king, and you really weren't free. The king ruled with a king iron fist, and they're like, man. Let's go over to, at that point, I don't think it was called America, was it? I don't think it was. I don't think it was called America, was
The
it?
New World.
Yeah, let's go to this new place, which is west of here quite a ways. And supposedly there's a lot of land, and we can go over there and kind of do our own thing, For lack of a better term, it's the Wild West. And
There's things
here.
pushing people here and things pulling people here. Pulling people here. They were escaping the oppression of the monarchs of Western Europe, and they were looking for the opportunity of the new Americas.
So right, they're not doing so good over there. The king, the monarch is there is no other rule. I mean, I guess you're probably maybe as free as maybe France or anything, but you're coming over here. It's my understanding the majority of those people were Caucasian.
Yes.
And then they come over here, and their first battle was with the indigenous, Native Americans. So they got that battle going on. They pretty much win that one because the Native Americans are bringing bow and arrows to a gunfight. And the settlers
Which never works out well.
Settlers had muskets at least, and they that doesn't work out well for you.
During World War II, the Polish army had like a cavalry, like a real cavalry, like on horses and stuff like that, and Hitler just decimated them.
Tanks versus horses.
Yes,
I mean that's
Tanks
not.
win.
Yeah, tanks win every time. Every time. Go ahead and be on the back of your horse with your little pea shooter and hit my tank.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna blast you right off your horse.
That's why the Mountie up in Canada is so intimidating.
Right. Don't bust me up with your Mounties. So we, I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, but we as Americans, in brought African Americans to our country, certainly not under the right situation. But that's how African Americans got to America. I don't know if African Americans probably would have eventually got here on their own under the guise of being free, meaning Africa is not real cool in some spots. I don't know if the African Americans had the resources to get over here, but they may have gotten over here. I can't say they wouldn't, but they didn't get here by their own accord.
There were some very sophisticated and wealthy areas in Africa during this 1700s.
Yeah, maybe
some of the
could've-
kings controlled all the gold and the salt and all the precious things, all the resources that were coming out of Africa. But then, also they sold off their slaves. There's black
African Americans
black
sold
people
African
sold
Americans.
black people.
Right,
Yes,
so-
but there's also, we don't also talk about it very often, and not often enough, is how the Irish were really exploited as they came over here as indigenous. As indentured servants.
Really?
Oh, they were essentially slaves.
So the Irish were on the slave deal. The African Americans were on the slave deal, none of which is cool at all. But that being said, our country now, I think it's 13 or 14% African American. But it seems like after watching this Super Bowl, the opening ceremonies with all the African American bands, then the Black National Anthem, and then the Kendrick Lamar. I mean, is there anybody, even the youngest of people in Rhett, and then maybe the hippest pop culturally with Seth? Is there anybody that enjoyed the Kendrick Lamar deal, 2 understood it, and 3 were not downright, disgusted at how bad it was?
I thought the last 5 minutes kind of made up for an anticlimactic first 15. It was a little boring. He probably could have had, a rock band come out or a little more going on the stage, but it was entertaining. He's a talented guy. And again, I think the last 5 minutes where you called Drake a pedophile in front of 300 million people, that's pretty funny.
Well, it is pretty funny, but is it, is that what the NFL wants to be known for?
The NFL wants to capitalize on the song of the year, the viral moment of the year. So, they're not above doing stuff like that.
Wow. I would think that the NFL would have know its demographics a little bit better.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
Well, I looked at last year's ratings, and there were between 12 and 34, there were 29.3 million that watched the halftime show, and between 18 and 64, there were 104.4 million.
Whew.
So, 35 to 64, they did 55 million, and 25-54, they did 49 million. Meanwhile, between 12 and 17, they did 6 million. So, do they know their demographics? Do they know that 35 to 64s make up 55 million of their audience? And do you think that anybody between the ages of 35 and 64 knew what the hell Kendrick Lamar's beat like anything about it? even 25 to 54. 50 million people. So we have 105 million people between 25, 54 and 35 and 64. That's over half of your audience. And I don't think that any of those would understand what the Super Bowl halftime was all about.
I have no idea.
I don't think the NFL. I could think of maybe 5 or 6 mega stars you could have put on there, bands and or solo artists that would probably appease those demographics better than Kendrick Lamar. And to give a guy, a 15 to 20 minute complete open forum just to diss. That's the problem with our mentality is everybody thinks that this diss thing is what people want to see, hear, or that it's entertaining. Really?
Everybody kind of waited around for it.
Yeah, well,
they sure did. For the end.
They sure
People
did.
got really excited. Did you hear the crowd chant A minor at the top of their lungs?
Right.
Well, but I think the best halftime shows are the ones that kind of transcends the generations. And you're talking about bands that have been around a while that older people recognize, younger people still appreciate. Having a niche guy like this, again, he's a superstar in a small age group. And like you said, Bubba, the majority of the people don't know who he is, don't
He's
really care.
He's the biggest name in hip hop, Dan. What do you mean? It's not a niche
the
group.
biggest name in hip hop.
It's a niche.
He just won record of the
if
year
you're
at the Grammys.
40 to 70 years old, it's irrelevant to you,
right,
Brett. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's a niche.
Look at the
is a niche.
Brett, look at the demographics. Look at the pure numbers, not who's got Song of the Year or who's got
We're
this.
talking
We're talking about. Hold on,
streaming numbers.
We're talking.
Charles TV, $20 for Eagles
No,
fly.
I understand what you're saying because there's
No, you don't.
Huge...
No, you don't. Because you
Okay,
don't.
I don't.
You don't
I'm sorry.
understand what I'm saying.
All right, I'm done.
If you just look at the demo, okay, great, no problem. Let's just make that a lot forever. Thanks. You're gonna tell me when you're done, bud? No, I'll tell you when you're done, and it's now. It's right now. I didn't hire you to be an on-air host. I hired you to be a video guy, and I've trickle-aided you on the show. And for you to be a dick, I'm over it. I am absolutely over it. Let me do some words. I'll be back in a minute.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Tell him to get his ass and go the fuck home.
All right.
I'm over it. Done.
For whatever reason, we got the Fox Philly morning show.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever look up, you can see
that.
That one right there to your right?
Yeah, that's the one where the guy acted
was
like
down in New Orleans, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, with the chicks, with the black chicks?
Yeah. They showed him and the lady. They showed a live stream of Bourbon Street. They're picking up trash now. No one's out there.
They were talking about the top 55 or whatever Super Bowls, and the 2 Super Bowls the Bucks were in were on the bottom 5.
Yeah, well they were blowouts. Yeah,
this will be in that bottom 5.
Oh yeah, see here, look, there's the guy.
Yeah.
Well,
he's the same chick.
Same dude.
Yeah,
and he's still partying.
He does look a little off.
He looks fun though, doesn't he?
No, he's fine. He's just it was a good bit.
He's probably been doing it for 30 years there too.
Oh God, probably longer than that.
I thought his post-game interview was sincere. She's pretty.
Yeah, he's fought through a lot of adversity.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they gave him such grief after he did such a good job a few years ago. I always thought he was a decent quarterback.
That's the thing, though, man. Everybody, if you're not Lamar or Allen or Patrick Mahomes on most nights, then people just think you suck.
It's so unfair.
But you can be on a second tier and still win it all if your team's good around you.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Brad Johnson wasn't the best quarterback of all time, and he won a Super Bowl. You don't fuck up, you can win.
He had a great game in that win, though, didn't he?
Yeah, well, they knew the defense. They knew the other team. That was like before the Belichick spying, but Gruden knew exactly what they were going to do the whole time.
I mean, shit, Rich Gannon went to the Super Bowl. Didn't win it.
Yeah. He got fucked by a center. Sabi Yinzer, Grouper Lips, Lil Wilbur's Afterbirth. Bubba's My God. Yinzer. I love saying that name. I like the black guy singing the national anthem on the piano. I thought he had a nice voice. American shitbag. Snook Slayer.
I got fucking... They don't tell you the actual start time of the game anywhere. All I saw was 6:30.
It was more like 6:45.
I know. I turned on at 6:30 and I was very, very disappointed.
They were close.
I hate pregame stuff, man.
And they took about 15 minutes to get through the first 4 minutes of the game.
Oh.
They're gonna call you the police, Terry. Hong Kong. I didn't see Lady Gaga part. What's up, Paul Rogers? Fat Pig. Jeff Pearson, good morning from Philly. Dave Rock, 69. ACC. Good morning. Yankee Jib. Neil Montplaisir. Fuck you. Taco Twinkle Tits. Oh, probably fucking. Andy the Ghost. Or Andy the Hog's Ghost. Promo code Lami support.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. And let me just tell you something. This is my show. Been doing radio for 40 years. It's not hard to read. I don't like somebody's tone when they're going to try to tell me when they're done. I'm not putting up with it. And if you want to be a critic on chat, I'll just block you. I'm done. I'm done messing around. It's not always my way. We can have great discussions back and forth. This has been an ongoing thing with him, and we know it. And let's just be intellectually honest. This is the third or fourth incident in as many weeks.
Yes.
And I don't know what his problem is. I don't know why he thinks he's all that. It's my show, not his. If you can't play along, then leave. I'm done. I'm fed up. You want to know where I was going with this. I was going with regards to the demographics of. I mean, I got them right here. So you sent them to me. You sent me. Let me try to find them for you.
Can I ask Lummy a question?
You sent me. Yes, go ahead.
Lummy, did you have to talk to Rhett? Did you have to? Was he? Did you? Did
you send him home? Because I told you to do.
Yeah, I did what Bubba told me to say. They told him he needed to go home for the day, take his stuff, and head out for the day.
Good. And we'll discuss this matter after the show. So, I mean, these numbers don't lie. You know what the audience of your presentation is, and when you have over 50% of your audience above the age of 25. I don't think that Kendrick Lamar talking about Drake being a pedophile and using 15 to 20 minutes of his stage to have a personal conflict with another rapper is necessarily what a 45-year-old male that's looking at that clients are paying $8 million for a 30-second commercial to market understands.
I agree. And if you dropped $5,000 to go to the game, is that what you want to? Is that the people that can afford a $5,000 ticket aren't the people listening to him?
I don't know.
I knew probably 4 of Kendrick's songs. He's lyrically driven hip hop, so he doesn't have a lot of monster radio hits. But when you are booking, the halftime show, Kendrick had maybe the best year that a rapper's had, but it's probably the entire body of work. And we know from being in radio, people want to hear stuff that's familiar, whether they love it or not. That's why the halftime show that a few years ago that had Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 Cent and even Kendrick Lamar was there and Mary J. It was, songs that everybody knew, like songs that made people feel good.
Remember the one year when they had the tribute and they had those little white apartment kind of boxes and it was 50 Cent, Dre, Ice Cube, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and then they would light up. They would light up the box, the white box, and then they would.
Macy Gray.
They would. I think. But I'm just saying, then it was an easy. It was an easy concept to know what they were doing. They were going box to box to box to box. I don't even understand what the overall message that they were delivering with regards to Kendrick Lamar's deal. I remember I looked at something like...
Well, his message, ultimately, you have to look for Easter eggs, after the fact. You have to find out is, I think it was him put the exclamation mark on his beef with Drake, which again, if there was never any issue with Drake to begin with, he wouldn't have made Not Like Us, which was, pretty much the song of the year.
So here's the deal. Why is the NFL getting caught up in that?
Well, doesn't Jay-Z... Isn't he kind of on the halftime?
Yes, yeah, he's on the committee.
He's actually the one that handpicks all this stuff. And so, but what I'm saying is, why are we, as the NFL, which is the most absolute prestigious sanctioning body of any, maybe second to global soccer and F1, but in our country, the NFL is king.
Definitely,
absolutely.
100%.
There's no best. And so why are we, who are the upper echelon of sanctioning bodies and who try to really, really, do the right thing, and it's just an upper crust type deal, why are we getting involved in a rapper diss deal? Why are we even involving ourselves in that?
I think just capitalizing on Kendrick Lamar this year. Again, he's held in high regard of the hip hop community. His lyrics are very deep, and but again, that's not necessarily a guy that people want to dance to and feel good about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was lost in the fact that I didn't, I'm sure I'm older, but they could have put Lady Gaga or Taylor Swift or anybody else that's pop culturally still cool.
And Taylor Swift, actually that would have been an incredible halftime show.
Oh, I would have loved it.
I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but the girl can perform, and she can perform, and her performances are interesting if you're 18 or if you're 40. It's absolutely, it's a much broader audience.
But would you rather seen maybe 2-3 different types of genre put all together?
I like that. I like the medleys.
Why not? Hold on. Why not get Jelly Roll? And
no,
but I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
Why not get 3 artists?
Yes.
And do maybe the country deal.
I thought
do the hip hop deal, and then maybe do the female / top 40 deal.
Well, that was kind of like when it was here in Tampa. They had Nelly, Aerosmith, and Like a rock group.
Was it Springsteen?
Is Springsteen? Yeah, they had like 3-4 different demographics.
Yeah,
all at
I
the
like
same
those.
time.
I like those. Or a band like Aerosmith that had hits from the 60s and hits from the 2010s.
Well, I
you know
mean-
what I mean? You need a band that transcends time.
I mean, look, if you're gonna
generations.
if you're gonna put hip hop up there, which is totally fine. I mean, you go with Drake, like the guy that's had the body of work, the guy that's had, I don't know, who knows, 30 number one songs, 20 number one songs, whatever it is. People that are more, there obviously is more familiarity there because Drake's crossed over into the pop world. I just think there's other hip hop artists you could put up there, but also Kendrick had a chance to bring up any artist, anybody that could have made sense. I mean, he could have brought Drake up to end the beef. I don't think that would have happened. He could have brought Lil Wayne up.
But that would have been huge.
I know. I'm saying there's things that, I mean, again, it's come and it's gone. As somebody that is aware of Kendrick Lamar and I've seen him perform, I've seen him open up for Kanye, lyrically driven hip hop is not for a halftime show.
Right.
And I thought last night was boring.
I sent you a list of the past couple, or actually all the halftime shows, the performers, just to kind of see how it has changed.
I don't know, man. I think the halftime show, which was, obviously after you had an all-black opening ceremony with tribute to New Orleans and African-American marching bands and African-American blues performers and African-American booty dancers and all that. There wasn't one white person to be seen for the opening of the deal. And then we go into the black national anthem. Is the Super Bowl that adamant about just absolutely kissing the African Americans' ass when realistically our country is a melting pot of all humanity, and it's just like we've jumped the shark with absolutely just the only thing that we want to cover or promote is African Americans, and I'm all for that. And to an extent, but I mean, it's like, man.
Well, Bubba, pedophile Matt Getz said last night that all of the black people and all of that is a showing of the impact that Trump's had on the black community.
Yankee Jet, $10.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
What?
It means that there was all. It means okay.
Did African Americans love Donald Trump?
Yes, that
Okay.
African American, and that's why there was such a focus on it last night.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, morning, Bubba. It's Gene.
Hi, Gene.
And Ruskin. Hey, I thought it was really boring, but at least it was all like football. There was no gay or transgender, but then he comes on and then I'm reminded Drake's a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just if I'm the NFL, Kendrick Lamar's fine, but when you start making it an infomercial about dogging another African American in your what they call diss tracks, and that's your thing right now is to have beef with Drake. I think that the NFL needs to stay. I think the NFL needs to stay out of that. Let those two dudes.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Let them. Yeah, nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about it. So
He doesn't have a song that's just not about dissing or, talking smack about somebody he doesn't like. He doesn't have just something anybody can all relate to.
yeah, I appreciate
He's got Squabble Up, and he only did half of it last night.
Yeah, make it a bunch of guttural noises and squeaks. That's all I got out of it.
Well, Squabble Up's a banger, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Can't speak for everything.
Now let's not forget. So we had I can't find the opening. Yeah, I think I have the opening ceremonies. And then,
by the way, if Kanye wasn't a raging lunatic right now who was having a bipolar, autistic, manic episode, he would be one hell of a halftime performer.
That would be good.
Man, did you see the commercial where he said he spent all the money on his teeth?
Kanye?
Yeah.
No, he's
not Kanye. Yeah, it was Kanye.
Kanye's selling shirts with
is Kanye not? Is he not easy?
No, he's easy.
Yeah, didn't you see the commercial where he was laying like on his back and he said he shot this on an iPhone and he spent all of his money on his teeth?
No, I'm paying attention to what he's been doing on Twitter for the last 3 days.
I was talking about
saying he's a Nazi and that he loves Hitler and
he said that?
Did he say that?
That's the least of what he said.
Can you get that to me?
I could read his whole timeline to you.
Please, go ahead.
Okay, let me get it.
But let me. Can you show me the Kanye West commercial last night, which I didn't even understand? What was he selling?
Himself.
Attention.
Yeah.
Is that what he was selling?
Yeezy.com, huh?
Yeah, it was go to easy.com.
I sent it to you.
All right, cool. So, Seth, you didn't see the Yeezy commercial?
No.
Here it is. This is like, I don't even know, like what. Here we go. Hold on here.
He paid $8 million for this.
He paid $8 million for this. You ready? Hold on here.
So what's up, guys? I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone. Go to easy.com.
That may be the worst commercial I've ever seen in my life. That was the worst commercial I've ever seen in my life.
There you go.
Bubba, that was horrible. He spent so much money on his teeth that he couldn't afford a production crew, a writer,
Well, it's a
lighting.
It's a gimmick.
I
It's a
understand,
gimmick.
but it's stupid.
All Super Bowl halftime shows, complete list from performers from 1967, which would have been I think the second Super Bowl. I think the first Super Bowl, I think they just had some guys fly in on some jet packs or something like that.
Speaking of flying in, why was there a flyover when the people inside the stadium can't see the sky?
For TV. For TV.
Is it a TV flyover?
I mean, it was completely a TV deal. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We had at the Super Bowl I, University of Arizona and Grambling marching bands. Okay. 2, Old Man Winter takes a vacation in Miami featuring the local 7 Miami area high school bands. Wow. 1969, American Thanks from Florida A&M University. Number 4 is the first time that they actually had a personal. It was Carol Channing.
Who's that?
Number 5 was the Florida. They liked the Florida A&M band.
They sure did.
Were they in Florida? These games?
Probably. 1972, a salute to Louis Armstrong with Ella Fitzgerald, Carol Channing, Al Hurt, and the U.S. Marine Corps drill team.
I bet you that was in New Orleans.
Probably. I think it was. 1973, Happiness Is, the University of Michigan band, and Woody Herman. 74, a musical America with University of Texas band. Number 9, tribute to Duke Ellington. Boy, I bet you that was a real knee slapper. 1976, of course, the centennial year of our country. 200 years and just a baby. Tribute to American bicentennial. 77, It's a Small World, including crowd participation for the first time with spectators waving colored placards on cue. 78, From Paris to Paris of America with Tyler Apache Bells and Peter Fountain and Art Hurt. I'm just going to keep going and this is all just a bunch of nonsense. I'm trying to figure out where we can get it when the.
Do you want some Kanye tweets?
90.
Yeah, here in a minute I do.
Was it 91 with New Kids on the Block?
Okay, where's that? 91?
Yeah.
Okay, 1991.
There, it starts getting fun.
Yeah, 1991. A Small World salute to 25 years of Super Bowl featuring New Kids on the Block. Okay, so in 91, New Kids on the Block were, global, and everybody liked them. And, even the kids that liked them, their mom and dads were familiar with their song because their kids played them so much. And you could understand them. Hanging tough. Step by step. Ooh, hanging tough. Please, girl, don't go. 1992, including a salute to winter season and the Winter Olympics, including Gloria Estefan, Brian Bottano, and Dorothy Hamill. Okay, here you go. This is when we start getting into some major superstars. And you know what? This person's African American. Well, kind of. Heal the World featuring Michael Jackson, 1993.
All right.
1994, Rockin' Country Sunday featuring Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Twitt, Wynonna, and Naomi Judd.
Wow.
95, Indiana Jones in the Temple of Forbidden Eye featuring Tony Burdett, Patti LaBelle, somebody, I don't know, in the Miami Sound Machine. 1996, it was Diana Ross all by herself. 97, Blues Brothers Bash featuring Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, James Belushi, James Brown, and ZZ Top. 98, a tribute to Motown's 40th anniversary. Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Queen Latifah, Martha Reeves, and the Temptations. Sounds like some pretty...
Across generations.
Yeah, exactly. A Tapestry of Nations for 2000. Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, and Tony Braxton. Again, a cross-section of everybody. Kings of Rock in 2001 featuring Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. That might be the biggest lineup so far.
It's a huge one.
Yeah.
Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly.
That was here, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah,
it was. It was in Tampa.
Wait, either here or 04. Wait, Janet Jackson didn't get naked in Tampa, did she?
No, that was in
Yeah, 01 was here.
Okay.
2002, U2, boom. 2003, Shania Twain. 2004, Janet. This might, obviously Nipplegate, which was not really good to me, but Janet Jackson, Kid Rock, P. Diddy, Nelly, and Justin Timberlake.
Superstars
across.
There's still
different
superstars.
sections.
Still superstars.
2005, Paul McCartney. 2006, the Rolling Stones. 2007, arguably one of the best ones that I ever saw. Dan, I think you attended. It might have been in Miami.
It was, and it was raining.
Prince.
It was awesome. We woke up in Costa Rica and ended up that night in the Super Bowl. It was awesome.
2008, Tom Petty. 2009, which I think was at Super Bowl in Tampa. I think. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. 2010, The Who. 11, Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. 2012. Listen to these stars. Madonna with CeeLo Green, LMF, AQ, MIA, and Nicki Minaj. That's huge. 13, Beyonce with guests Destiny Childs. Bruno Mars with Red Hot Chili Peppers. 15, Katy Perry with Missy Elliott and Lenny Kravitz. Again, 3 big, huge names across different sections of genres. 16, Coldplay with guests Beyonce and Bruno Mars. 17, Lady Gaga all by herself. Justin Timberlake at 18. 19, Maroon 5 with Travis Scott and Big Boy. 20, Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. 21, The Weeknd. 22, Dre, Snoop, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige. 23, Rihanna. 24, Usher. 25, Kendrick Lamar.
Jay-Z took over making the halftime decision in 19.
Well, and look at, you don't see any, after Jay-Z took over in 2019, there's nothing that's white or rock or country. Am I right?
Eminem.
If he took
That's it.
For white people, yeah.
For white people, but it's not rock or country. Right?
No,
I mean,
it's all hippie. Hippie hoppy.
From 2019.
Maroon 5 be super white.
Yeah, that's because he probably inherited that. They're like, hey, we already signed these guys before you took over, Jay-Z. Well, here's the deal, man. Let me look at the timeline. We'll look at the date that Jay-Z took over. First of all, the Super Bowl's early in 19. Chances are they hired Jay-Z in probably after February of 19. Let me look at the press release. NFL hires Jay-Z because the 19 Super Bowl was probably already they put this in place 6 months out.
But if you scroll back up, Bubba, there was a run where it was old heads for like 3 or 4 years in a row, and that right there. McCartney, Rolling Stones, Prince was fine, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, The Who. That's what people were like, get all these old white guys off the stage and let's get with something that's popular right now.
So now then they say, okay, let's go popular. Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. Then the next year, Madonna, CeeLo Green, LMFAQ, MIA, and Nicki Minaj nailed it. 13, nailed it. Beyonce with Destiny's Child. 14, nailed it. Bruno Mars with Red Hot Chili Peppers. 15, nailed it. Katy Perry, Missy Elliott, Lenny Kravitz. 16, nailed it. Coldplay with Beyonce and Bruno Mars. So, I mean, like they nailed it thereafter.
Not a whole lot of bands anymore. You see kind of Coldplay and Maroon 5 that have been in there in the last 10 years. So,
I mean, I think there was a stretch where they also nailed it. And
yeah,
now,
they've gone pop, kind of.
August 14th.
I'm sorry, what?
August 14th, 2019.
So August 14th, 2019 is after the Super Bowl. So the 2019 Super Bowl is not on Jay-Z's tab. He first influenced 2020, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The J-Lo sausage.
So
wrap.
if you look at Jay-Z's picks, J-Lo and Shakira, The Weeknd, Dre, Eminem, Snoop, Kendrick, and Mary J. Blige, Rihanna, Usher, Kendrick Lamar. Now, I think up until this one, Kendrick Lamar, I think everything's been great. I've had no problems with the Super Bowl halftime show. None. In fact, I loved 2022 with Dre, Eminem, Snoop, Kendrick, and Mary J. Blige. I love that one. I remember the Jennifer Lopez Shakira one was good. I remember the 2 years ago, Usher was great. So, like, I mean, this isn't any knock on any particular black, white, Jay-Z or non, but I just think that Kendrick Lamar used his entire, forum to do a big diss. I mean, I wonder, Dan. Maybe Jay will be in here a little bit later. I know he's a public, like a celebrity, a person in the public eye. But can you, call Drake a pedophile? That's pretty.
Not really. And he could get in trouble for that.
Well, no, hold on. also the people that booked it and the people that aired it. I mean, you
Drake's already sued him.
You know, Dan, that when you're suing something, you go as deep as you can.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if Drake would sue, now the NFL's culpable.
He made a comment about it last night, Bubba. He got in the performance, which again, it got missed because again he was doing a subtle show just for Drake. But he said something like, "I know these people love to sue." I don't know if it was Samuel L. Jackson or Kendrick right before he was about to. They teased his song "Not Like Us," Bubba, halfway through his set, and then he goes, "Oh, I know they love to sue for this one." So I mean, he was talking to Drake there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like if you're like during your presentation that Drake potentially could sue you over, if you're goading him into saying, "I know you like to sue," I mean, Dan, wouldn't that really put like maybe a premeditated gimmick? Like, listen, a fleeting expletive or a fleeting comment that could potentially be problematic is, the FCC, like when Bono during the Grammy Awards or during one big time television presentation said, used the F word and said effing brilliant. Well, the FCC ruled that was a fleeting F. It wasn't a premeditated F, and they let that go. But when you set up your next song, or like Seth said, you tease what you're going to sing by saying, "I know you like to sue," doesn't that add, Dan, a little credence to your defamation, slander, liable, and the fact that it just wasn't...
It was purposeful. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a fleeting moment. It was the whole purpose.
And if Drake's got good counsel, he goes 3 deep on this.
Unless he's a pedophile, and then he backs off.
I mean, you're gonna have to. That's something. That's a real hard.
Well, I understand that, but if he's got culpability, he's not going to sue because the next step of suing is depositions. And the truth protects you. And so, I heard he sued and then backed off a lawsuit. And so, it's very dangerous to accuse someone of something that bad.
If I'm the NFL, publicly, I don't want to even be part of that fray.
Yes.
I don't want to be looped up in depositions where we strategically announced that we were going to have you and give you a 20-minute. As the sanctioning body, we picked you. The NFL picks it. Jay-Z now works for the NFL since August of 2019.
Well, I sent you an article, and I think it's kind of going along with what you're saying. And I'm reading the article, and like even at that 2019, Jay-Z was trying to talk out Travis Scott and Big Boy from even performing with Maroon 5. And it looks like, this was during the whole Colin Kaepernick, and they brought in Jay-Z to make it a more inclusive event.
Right.
And that's what.
But I mean, my God, inclusive event. Yeah, let's make it inclusive. Let's include some white people or somebody else.
It's become exclusive.
Yeah, we've gone from inclusive to exclusive. And here's the deal. I mean, I could read this, I guess, but here's the deal: is the fact that, man, I mean, I've been part of lawsuits and they suck. The deposition portion. I mean, they get real expensive real fast. And when you got a guy like Drake that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, millionaires suing billionaires, then it gets real expensive. And so when Drake, it would be interesting to see if he drops, Dan, drops a lawsuit on Fox.
No, I don't think he will.
And on NFL.
If he were completely innocent, you would expect him to. Bubba, Trump is settling all these huge lawsuits because people kept calling him a convicted rapist, and he wasn't a convicted rapist, and they kept referring to him as such. And he successfully sued several TV stations, and they're paying him because they had to settle because they were
All right.
wrong.
So what if Drake can prove he's not a pedophile?
Well, then he'd have a lot of potential lawsuits. But if he is, he's gonna brandish his sword and then put it away.
So I'm just saying, if you're the NFL and you can have an act up there that checks on the boxes with regards to your demographics, 25-54, I got 50 million. 35 to 64, I got 55 million. 18 to 34, I got 22 million. 12 to 17, 6 million. So if you have combined adults over 25, you have it's 104 million of your 155 million.
Bubba, what's the spending power of the 12 to 17 demographic?
Yeah, what's the spending power of the person that likes Kendrick Lamar? Is Hellman's or Coca-Cola or Bud Light or all the commercials that ran at $8 million for 30 seconds? Are they targeting people that are familiar with Kendrick Lamar? And what's the spending power of that? You have to take a step back before you sit here and start shoving things up my ass saying that, well, it's a record of the year and 5 Grammys. That doesn't mean nothing. You have to know what your audience is. And if you don't know what your audience is, there are statistics to show you what is your audience. And if you 25 to 54 is 50 million of your audience, and I don't know that many 25-54s, or better yet 35 to 64 is now 55 million, which is the largest single demographic that watches the Super Bowl is 35 to 64. Seth's in that demo. I'm in that demo. Lummy's in that demo. In fact, everybody is in that demo except Rhett. That's the largest demo that watches the Super Bowl, according to last year's rankings. We don't have this year's rankings. So wouldn't you try to maybe put something up there that your audience would continue to watch so that you can have those statistics to give to your advertisers post Super Bowl saying that here's our statistics. And that's why your money was well spent at $8 million for a 30.
But is the audience for the halftime show built in, or because of how much they promoted outside of the Super Bowl, do people watch? People who don't like sports or whatever, do people watch based off?
The numbers don't lie. Based when the ratings do come out, they'll tell us if indeed it grabbed a younger audience, this particular Super Bowl, or a more ethnic audience, or whatever.
I'm saying are people? Is the halftime show for the people that are watching the Super Bowl? Because then it's essentially the demographics for watching a football game. So I want to know, or is it? I don't know.
I think the halftime show, Seth, and the commercials are designed to be, a little bit more than just a typical sports fan.
I think they're designed to be outer fringe of the probably standard NFL watching person. It's more, they try to go, there's going to be more females, there's going to be more, it's going to probably be skew a little bit younger, but not to the point where you're setting aside 20 minutes of programming to coddle to those fringe demographics that are only there for the halftime deal and probably aren't really a good cross-section of what your demographic spending power would be.
It was a very black pregame show, it was a black halftime show, and it was a horrible Super Bowl.
Yeah. By the way, so here is the black national anthem that they opened up with. This is before the Star Spangled Banner.
This thing lasts like 8 minutes, right?
2:12.
That's it?
2:17.
Yeah.
Felt like 8.
Is that Tony Braxton?
No, it's This girl.
DC.
Can you help me out here, Seth?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
DC.
that says not Tony Braxton.
Hold on. That says not Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
Right. Why can't we get a Tony Braxton, or who's the woman that sings New York?
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys.
She's awesome.
Love her.
This is this lady's 5th time in a row.
Okay.
Oh, she's done it they've only done it 5 times.
Yeah, only 5 people know the song.
Yeah, her. This is the one.
She's done it every year.
Alicia Keys said, "I don't know the words."
That's weird.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high.
This song needs a Dre beat.
I mean, if here's the deal. If Kendrick could have come in and saved this thing, it might have changed my mind. Maybe give this thing a little bit, freshen up.
Skies, let it resound.
Man, we as a society have jumped the shark. We are off the rails. When you're going to do a national anthem that is specifically about one race.
What did they do back in the day?
Just let it rip.
No, I mean, like back in the, 90s or early 2000s.
Whitney Houston got up here and sang the national anthem, and it was badass.
No, I'm saying, did they do was it just a national anthem and coin toss and that was it?
I think they did God Bless America.
Yeah.
I think they did either America the Beautiful or God Bless America. Somebody would sing that.
But they weren't doing 45 minutes on the field.
No.
No.
Okay.
It's disgusting. They waste so much time. Then they're just trying to get this extra programming and extra content, and it's just boring.
Loud as the road.
Funerals are more fun.
I mean, generally, this isn't how America normally gets ready for a Sunday football game.
No.
I understand putting it in there, but it's not getting anybody amped up for the biggest game of the year.
No. And it's just...
But maybe it's more about the message and not about me getting amped up.
But it's also a divider. I mean, it's a divider. Now, if we were to play the 30 minutes prior to this, there was not one white person on the field then either with their tribute to New Orleans. And it was just all African-American college bands, which are great, by the way, with booty dancers, which, listen, I certainly enjoyed the booty dancers. But I'm like, man, this, the NFL has jumped the tracks with regards to, it looks like Jay-Z just runs the whole entire show.
Yeah, we need more white girls with flat asses.
We do. I mean, again, there's a larger portion of those than African-American booty girls. With regards to the audience, the fabric of our demographics of America.
You're against booty girls?
No, I'm against just going so far one way that it really makes it uncomfortable and makes me mad, pisses me off. Why can't everybody be represented? Why can't everybody?
There's no Italian national anthem.
Yeah, there's no Italian national anthem. There's no.
And there's 35% Spanish people in America now. It's a third Hispanic.
Right.
Where's the Spanish national anthem?
Nothing to do with Latin people. Nothing to do with Spanish-speaking Latin people. Nothing to do with white people. This was an all-black pre-show.
I sent you
national anthem. And halftime show.
Where are the Greek girls? Where are the Ukrainian girls?
What'd you send me?
I sent you the stuff before this.
Where are the Ukrainian babes? Dan's right. I haven't seen one during this whole conflict.
I know. It's supposed to be like this flux of I always hear there's people from Somalia. Getting ripped off.
Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought.
What if someone took a knee on this one? Oh. Can you imagine the backlash?
Had to be a white guy taking a knee.
Oh. or Spanish guy. This would be a perfect time for a Hispanic guy to take a knee.
If you wanted to absolutely ruin your career and be completely blackballed from the industry and the game and everything in life, you would take a knee. You could never take a knee during this. They would kill you.
Literally kill you.
You're the biggest racist.
You could be married to a black girl.
You
could have black kids.
Hold on. You notice this? The double standard we have. Colin Kaepernick can take a knee on our national anthem, and after it's all said and done, win an $80 million collusion lawsuit against the NFL. But if a white guy or anybody else for that matter take a knee during the black national anthem, you would be absolutely crucified.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't even look like the teams are out there, right?
No, they're not.
They wouldn't even.
But you could be you could be like one of the fringe performers or something and take a knee.
A fringe performer.
But they're all
Look at that fringe performer on his knee.
Well, I mean, the fringe performer from Kendrick Lamar did make a statement last night.
Exactly. Let's not
Free
forget,
Palestine, buddy.
There was a fringe performer that came in with a free Palestine, Gaza Strip gimmick.
Oh my God, I missed it.
I mean, she could win American Idol, right?
Sure.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. With the song. Oh my God.
She's from New Orleans too.
Of course. So let me. You have the show before this that you sent me.
Yeah, the band, the SU band.
Now, did anybody see this?
Southern?
No. Or am I the only one that saw
Smash time is in the building.
Uh-oh.
I saw a little bit of it. I just walked away from
So
the TV.
the woman, the African American woman that sang the African American national anthem, is what they call it.
Lift every voice up, right?
Lift every voice up. That was after this. This was first. Or the Black National Anthem.
Yeah, but college marching bands are kind of football-y. So I don't have a really. I don't mind this. I think this is better than the Black National Anthem. Certainly, it's pumping you up a little bit
I know,
too.
but you
It's
can
festive.
see that it's completely African American.
Yeah, it's a New Orleans-based school.
I understand that.
Again, Bob, you got to understand that New Orleans, Louisiana is really black.
Are you playing to the town, or are you playing to the 175 million people watching? What is your audience?
I think the audience is the people watching, but a lot of times Super Bowls have a flavor of the local community.
I understand that. Let's not forget, the largest demographic that watches the Super Bowl is 35 to 64. Just remember that.
But they all like booty, right?
I'm just saying that's the audience that advertisers that are paying $8 million a spot are trying to target. And by the way, Trump's orange makeup was at an all-time high yesterday.
Was it?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
White guy.
Yeah, Harry
White guy.
Connick Jr. Oh, they cut it off.
Yeah.
I mean, Harry Connick is.
He's New Orleans.
Yeah.
He represents New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a little rhythm.
So
He's got some soul.
when we get back, they had to I think they just had to suspend the national anthem over 1 minute over 20.5 seconds because it had leaked out that his rehearsal that he was going to do, it was going to be longer than that because he was going to do. Remember, he did like 3 and the home,
land of the free.
Yeah, land of the free, land of the free, land of the free.
Yeah.
And it had leaked out that he was going to do that. And so they had to suspend the prop bet of over 120.5. We'll get into that next, along with, do we have, see, I thought the guy that did the national anthem nailed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice rendition.
I thought he did a great job. He's an unbelievable pianist. I thought he did a great job.
Do you like his piano?
What do you mean?
His piano. Did you like the way his piano was decorated?
It was all right. I could. It doesn't matter to me.
Was it bedazzled?
It was white with a lot of colorful, like sort of graffiti type art on it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
We'll do that next. Hold on.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Baby Jesus in it.
Oh, okay. It looked like it was a crab. That's
It's
why.
got a little plastic baby Jesus cooked into it.
Does it?
And if you get it, you're supposed to buy the next king cake unless you break filling on it.
What about baking plastic into stuff?
I don't know. It works. It's just it's a plastic baby Jesus.
That sounds toxic, Dan. It sounds toxic.
It is toxic.
Jesus.
I don't care.
I mean, who doesn't care? Louisiana?
I do.
I mean, I like the concept. I just don't like
You
the.
have to buy someone else's cake? Yankee Jib, Big Buck. Hey, what's up? Yeah. What's wrong?
TV will come on. Nothing major.
Can I play the police page of the pool guy? Morning. Right from John's Island. Oh, Sally XO. 900. Dog. The only one on Twitch, Cable Dog. 707, that's it. Stephen Coco, good morning. Quicker ticker. SBFJ bar. Go to the bathroom, we'll be right back, guys. You need anything, Bubba? Hey.
broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Bubba the Love Sponge Show as we wade through Super Bowl 59, which I thought absolutely the game was pretty good. If you're an Eagles fan, I was actually rooting for the Eagles.
Me too.
And they just absolutely, I don't know if they game planned better and realized that Patrick Mahomes is very susceptible to, making mistakes when you got a lot of pressure on him. And man, the Eagles, I know they can't give the MVP to the Eagles front four defensive linemen, but that's inevitably, in my opinion, who won the game.
My friend that I watched the Super Bowl with is a coach, and he went to a couple coaching conventions with a couple of the. I think
you were watching the game with Bobby Bowden.
Yes, his son too. His son and Steve Spurrier. They went to a couple coaching camps that the coach for the Eagles, the coordinator, and different things, and they said that with Mahomes, if you had him roll out a certain way, he's done. And that's what they were going to focus on. And you could tell that's what they focused on. They learned after the last Super Bowl how to defend Mahomes.
Mushroom Mitch, 20 on the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. I saw Mushroom Mitch this weekend at my track. Had a huge, I got 5, let me see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I got 4 more races to go. But man, by all accounts, the 6 Lucas Super Late Model races that we did, we absolutely nailed it. Saturday night was an unbelievable race. 2 grooves. The guy came up, Devin Moran, the mailman, Devin Moran.
The mailman
came from 7th to win. Put it up on the high side. It was just unbelievable. Maybe I'll find a few highlights from Saturday night. USAC rolls into town. We had practice yesterday. It was a day practice. Those are always bad because the track dries up. But then they return it back to action. They go to Volusia for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, and they come back to us on Wednesday. So let me listen. I've asked you guys if you could do Thursday without me, and Seth said he could pull that off with a baby face. But Lasker's a little bit of a loose cannon, and Seth didn't know if he could necessarily corral Gene because it's just you never know what he's going to say, and I can keep Gene in check. So we're going to let me get a best of ready on Friday.
Okay, no problem.
We won't be on the air Friday. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off because I almost killed myself last week. I don't listen.
How? What happened?
Here's the deal. I don't like, and I know that
the grind.
I don't want everybody mad at me, but I'm a creature of habit. And although Macho Man and Merch Crick, who set up my little portable studio in the RV, that was good. It was unbelievable, and we know that we can do that now. But I prefer to be in the studio. I just don't feel very comfortable doing that. I feel just so out of touch. And we know that we have here's the cool thing. We pulled it off wonderfully. And we know we have those capabilities if needed.
Yes.
But, I would prefer to be home here. And so that takes me going up there and being remote out of the question. So all last week, because I had Larry Plummer in town, we drove every night back home. And then I got in and on the average around 11 and got 4 hours of sleep. So I'm going to go up there on Wednesday after the show and just stay up there and not worry about a show. I'm taking Thursday off. You guys are going to fill in for Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to all of us take off. Oh, yeah, Lummy, this is.
Yeah, is it the highlights from Saturday?
Yeah. Wait till I know that a lot of people don't really share my excitement in this.
What kind of halftime shows you got going on at the track, Bubba?
15-minute while we water the track and people go buy hot dogs.
There's no acoustic sets or anything?
No,
okay.
Nothing. I think they might turn up some country music or some bull crap.
You don't have a special
we got
programmer?
we got a 15-minute, play some music over the speakers while you go get your beer.
I could be your Jay-Z of the track.
You could go out there.
Well, no,
Sure.
I would find comedians. I would find country musicians.
15-minute set.
Yeah, 15-minute set. Boom,
Yeah.
kill it. Balloon animal guy, whatever.
We underway Ocala, the final night of the V1.
We were, as you can see, the crowd. We were packed.
It looks crazy.
Almost standing room only.
Internationals fire off into turns 1 and 2. Delaware double file restarts up until 10 to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. with the advantage in 1.
Was this Saturday night?
Yes.
This is Saturday night.
Yes.
And 2. Davenport drives under him down the back straightaway and through the dog leg. Drake Troutman.
Now, here's what makes a good track. Hold on.
Rocket 1
is you got high and you got low.
Yeah, I can see it.
2 places to go.
And everyone's doing well on both sides, both tracks.
And then watch the high side start to come in. This is the as to whether you nailed it as a track prep guy. Of course, I have Rob from Eldora. Is if there's multiple grooves of racing and they're not all locked down on the bottom, and that that there's a high side to it. 100 horsepower. 2,400 pounds.
76 of Brandon Overton with
it. Feels like you're just going to get to here we go. This is where it got real dicey. Really cool. So Devin Moran comes from 7th, and he's challenging the 49. That's JD Superman Davenport, who had won 2 nights in a row. Not in a row, but he had won 2 of the nights. 2 of the 4 nights at that time he had won. So, when he gets out on clean air. Now, you can start to see there's a little bit of moisture down here.
Yep.
And there's a little bit of moisture right next to the wall. Everything else is kind of dried out and slick, right?
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Yeah.
Is that tire on the dirt that makes it black?
Yes, it's tire on the dirt.
Rubberized dirt?
Nope, it's not rubber. It's slick. It's taken the dirt and made it dry slick. It's dry slick.
But that's good, right? Because you got 2 lines of it?
Well, dry slick is good because it takes the horsepower out of the equation and puts the driver in it. So it's really slick underneath them. So what they do for that, Dan, is they usually try to find where the moisture is to get more grip. So you can see down here, this is going into turn 1.
Sticky?
There's a little bit of hold on, I didn't mean to do that. There's moisture here, but their momentum carries them out. They can't keep it down here very well. Then see up here? Mm-hmm. Now here is some moisture, and then this is cushion, and then there's the wall. There's the wall. So this is where it gets real interesting. Watch this.
Oh my goodness.
So this guy started 7th, and now he's up to 2nd, and he won. This is Devin Moran, the mailman. He won opening night Lummy Tuesday.
Nice.
And then he blew a motor on Wednesday and scratched, and then I think Thursday he might have been on the podium. Friday he wasn't, and then you'll see what happens here. This is Saturday night. This is the big night. This is for $25,000 to win. 20. We had a little bump in 2, and I kept asking Lucas, man, you want us to take that bump out? And they're like, no, man, it adds character.
Oh, they like the bump?
Yeah, well, they like the fact that the driver's either got to go underneath it, go on top of it, or drive through it. So it really kind of puts a wrench in the system.
Changes ago.
Now watch this run. Now, I don't know. I'm not trying to give any secrets away, but all up in here in turn 2 is all that new material that I put on about in November. And so new material tends to be a lot grippier than some of the older part of the track. And watch the run that the 99 gets. Good racing.
So he had extra grip coming out of that turn because he had that wet sand underneath him, wet clay. And so that's
high side really.
Jonathan Davenport closing back in on the inside. The 20RT is there as well.
You can see when he hits it.
He's got it down pat. That
you
little
can
spot.
see when he hits it.
This is more of an art form than a sport.
Yeah.
The inside, the 20RT is.
Boom, he hits it. He literally hits it right here.
There as well. Nearly 3 wide for the lead.
It's almost like he has a rocket behind him.
Yeah.
Powering on the outside of the race.
Up, and the 49 almost gets him. Watch.
A slide up in front of Dan Ebert.
That's a lap car.
Ebert going to drive back down.
Whoa, that was good. Look at Skag. Look at Skag.
Dirty Devin.
Awesome.
No.
Dirty Devin.
Dirty Devin, the governor.
To Jonathan Davenport, 3rd to Ricky Thornton Jr.
So anyway, man, we had an unbelievable night Saturday night. All nights were great. My special weapon is Rob from Eldora, my trap prep guy, and I don't mean it's true.
So, Bubba, is it going to be like a high likelihood that they use this track again next year for the same event?
Yeah, I think
you made the cut.
I think we made the cut.
That's
where
great.
we're going to be the East Bay replacement. I'm hoping that that they've all racers seem to really have loved that we had 6 nights of here's the things that they love. 6 nights of being on time, meaning we were done by 9:15 every night.
Important for TV.
Yes. Whereas where they came from Alltech Raceway Park. They raced 3 nights there, and all 3 nights they were, at one night they didn't get out of there till 1:15 in the morning. And you got fans that get there at 6 for hot laps. 3 hours on aluminum bleachers are about what a human being can take. You can't really take much more than that. 3 hours on an aluminum.
That's a good. Yeah, I think that's a good between 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Seems about right.
Boom, out of there. We were on time every night. The track never rubbered. And for 6 consecutive nights, all 6 nights had a different track. All 6 nights were different in some way, shape, or form. So we're hoping that when Lucas announces their next 2026, that would be the 55th Winter Nationals, that it's the same and we get the 6 nights, which used to be East Bay's real estate, and indeed we get that. I think that all indicators is that we did well, and I think me and Tom Bean are hoping that they do that. So
congrats, Bubba. That's great.
You.
I'm good. You put so much work into this. I know it's been torture, but also fun, and it's your passion. But
I've literally been there almost every weekend since September, from Big Red and Creatine Travis and Bob Cook and Austin Wolf and Mitch the Mark and the Nash brothers meeting me there like 3 weekends to do the fencing. From that to me and One-Eyed Billy being there, again in early November, raising all the bin block and putting all the new material in there, and then getting that material to infuse with the old material so that it doesn't, beat out. It's been, to me planting 500 pounds of winter rye in the back to create a better parking and camping situation. And we have like 150 campers out back.
Really?
Managing that. Merch Crick's been managing all that. So, it's a huge task. And I think we did pretty well. So, Tom's doing the numbers right now. I'll get a report today. We have a 2-day reprieve today and tomorrow. And then Wednesday after the show, I got to be right up in there because USAC starts on Wednesday. Those are the 410 non-wing open wheel deals. And then we'll do that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm all your. I don't have any plans. I appreciate everybody working with me, and I appreciate everybody knowing that this is a time of the year every year that I have to spend quite a bit of time up there because it's my other business, and appreciate everybody understanding that I will be gone on. We will have to do a best of show on Friday, so I hope that doesn't upset anybody. Fans who read Roger Goodell. I don't know if this is supposed to be a comma or if it's a run-on sentence.
No, fans who read Roger Goodell is fully embracing DEI programs disagree with the NFL commissioner,
who say the programs is a reflection of the league's fan base. Here comes the back. Well, here's the deal. If the programming that you put forth, Roger, is conducive to the league's fan base, then I need to never watch NFL football again. Dan needs to never watch NFL football again. In fact, all the men in this room need to probably not watch NFL football again, because nothing that you put on to entertain us during the pre, mid, and I can't say post-game activities because that was just mostly the presentation of the Vince Lombardi Award and MVP and all that. That's pretty standard. But the pre-show and the halftime show had nothing to do with anything that I'm interested in at all. Maybe the Lady Gaga appearance when she was in the middle of Bourbon Street, and obviously that was taped the night before because all the Michael Strahan, Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Aaron Andrews, they were all down there on camera with Lady Gaga. So obviously they had to shoot that the night before. Now, I like the Lady Gaga deal. I like that. But I didn't like the opening African-American booty fest. I didn't like that. Just because it was just, I can watch Florida A&M or Grambling, or I can watch all that any weekend that I want. I don't necessarily want it as my Super Bowl deal. And then the Kendrick Lamar deal, in my opinion, speaks for itself. There's nobody that I know that could understand what was going on, or And if honest to God, where the NFL is now targeting Kendrick Lamar fans, then what's that say for the NFL? When your largest demographic is 35 to 64. 35 to 64. That's your largest demographic. So, do you not know your audience? Or are you trying to diversify your product so much that you do know your audience, but you're trying to go a complete different direction to get a different audience? And isn't the NFL big enough? I mean, haven't you established yourself with men 25-54? That's your number one demo. So anyway, I think that the DEI programs I don't think DEI is good for anybody, whether it's government or the NFL. I'm a big believer on the best candidate gets the job when it comes to the job force, and I'm a big believer on the most mass popular act or artist you can put in for the halftime celebration would be the one you would go with, the one that appeals to the most people, not this niche. And listen, I'm hypersensitive of tort, lawsuits and tort claims that one would. I mean, if Kendrick Lamar is going through a set list with you, which I would assume that the NFL had an idea of what he was going to sing, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to call Drake a pedophile, and this is going to be a big, opportunity for me to diss my arch rival. I think most responsibly minded people to give that guy this big of a stage would say, hey, listen, I don't necessarily know if we want to put our good name in the NFL or Fox, on a potential slander, defamation, libel. Saying, I mean, listen, Drake's got money. So when you call somebody who's got money a pedophile, they're not going to take that lightly. Now, you call me a pedophile. I don't have the resources to. I don't have the resources to sue the NFL and or Fox and or Kendrick Lamar. I don't have the resources. I don't. Dan, you probably don't even have the resources.
It would be cost prohibitive.
Right. I mean, we would go to Jay, and Jay's like, listen, man, do you know how much it's going to cost a firm, on the come, just to hope? No, we're not going to do that. You guys strategically take your cases.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what it.
You balance the cost with the likelihood of winning.
Right. With the largeness of the people that you're filing against. Right? I mean, if you're filing against Jimmy's Shingle Shack, that's one thing. But if you're filing against Publix, if Jimmy's Shingle Shack hits your client, that's one thing. If Publix hits your client, that's another.
But you don't want either one of those. You want the guy in the middle. You don't want the shit. Some Jimmy's Shack to hit you was uninsured, and you don't want Publix because they're going to fight.
Unless it's so egregious that unless Publix is so
Right.
egregious that they're saying, hey, listen, let's write a check now, please. Let's make this go.
If there's really a real injury and
Right.
real damages.
Right. I mean,
real negligence.
When they picked Kendrick Lamar, I mean, he had already had the song was out. I mean, it was already a hit. So, but Drake is suing Universal Music Group, which actually him and Kendrick Lamar are both on for defamation. So, and in the song it says that Drake is a criminal pedophile, and Kendrick suggests the public resort to vigilante justice in response.
I mean, Dan, that does not look good when you're a large. I mean, listen, the NFL's what, a multi-billion dollar corporation?
Yes, billions.
Fox is a multi-billion dollar corporation.
Yes.
So Drake is a multi-hundred millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And can find 100 lawyers that would take his case, either on contingency or he's just going to straight pay. A guy that's that well funded, Dan, usually just pays by the hour.
Right. That way he gets a big hit on the
Right.
backside if he gets it.
He didn't have to share 30 points with you guys or more. He's just paying your hourly rate. So, I mean, I'm just telling you. I just don't understand how you can call somebody and then how are you going to prove that? Are you going to actually bring in kids that Drake supposedly slept with? I mean, this gets real nasty real fast.
I don't know, man. Some of the stuff I've seen is Drake just interacting with younger fans backstage.
Right.
I haven't seen anything.
Nobody's got any real. I've never heard of any real credible proof that little 17-year-old or 14-year-old or 16-year-old Lisa or Johnny came out and said, Drake touched me. I've never heard that.
So Drake is no R. Kelly?
I don't think so,
I
but
don't think
who knows? In 10 years, that there could be all these allegations against Drake. We'll be like, well, Kendrick told us, just like we knew about R. Kelly all along, just like people have been talking about Diddy all along. But I think the accusations from just stuff that I've read are just accusations. Pretty much.
And certainly, listen, accusations are one thing, but proving them are another.
Will Drake get the pass like Michael Jackson, or be vilified like R. Kelly if he's found guilty?
Give him 10 years from now?
I don't know. It's so weird because no one cares about Michael Jackson, but everyone cares about R. Kelly. I don't understand it. It's like they won't listen to R. Kelly music, but they'll listen to, Well,
I think the evidence was, Michael Jackson actually went to trial and was cleared, whereas R. Kelly went to trial and was found guilty.
And plus, Michael Jackson, I think, has passed, so people probably feel like, either he's paid his punishment or enough time has passed because maybe the monkey's dead that he used to live with, or
Bubbles the monkey.
Bubbles?
Yeah, well, I don't know if Bubbles is. I don't know.
Bubbles could talk.
I know Bubbles could be like, man. Oh, hold on. That should be the next documentary. If Bubbles could talk.
But Dan, too. There's some Michael Jackson songs. Even if you saw him touching a kid right in front of you, there are some songs that you would never be able to stop listening to because they just Smooth Criminal, Bad.
Oh,
Beat
I love
It.
all that stuff. So, and
people
again,
are going to
let's
listen.
not forget. Michael Jackson was sued civilly for this and won. Meanwhile, R. Kelly was actually brought up indicted criminally and found
lost.
and lost. So
Right.
I think there's a big
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
And here's the deal, man. Michael Jackson, there was always that scuttlebutt that he liked kids, and there's
They're
documentaries
confirmed
and things like.
sleepovers, right? With
Yeah.
7-year-olds. I don't think there's really a whole lot of digging around you have to do. And these stupid ass parents and sent their kids to his house, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire with Michael Jackson, but he did go to trial, and he did write some big, large settlement checks as well. But we are in a way more litigious society now, and I'm just saying, I scratch my head as to why Fox and NFL would want to expose themselves. Remember the expression? Dan, you know the expression, you can sue a ham sandwich? Like, anybody can sue anybody for anything.
Correct.
And so, there's already legal precedent set here that Drake is litigious and trying to sue Kendrick Lamar. There's an existing one. Kendrick Lamar did call him a pedophile on TV last night, and did bring up his ex-girlfriend Serena Williams. And I was talking to Seth earlier today, and he's like, "Listen, I was watching the whole deal, and I was hoping that Kendrick Lamar actually brought up some real stars that might have pulled the nose up a little bit on the deal."
Lil Wayne was upset because Wayne's from New Orleans, and he kind of wanted the halftime show.
Man, a Lil Wayne halftime show would have been great.
I thought so. And then
he's got far more known hits than Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, and then Phoebe looks at me and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Lil Wayne, he's not big enough to be up there." And I just looked at her, Bubba.
Yeah.
I didn't say a word until she just backed down. I was not going to let her talk about Wheezy F Baby like that. He's a massive star. But
who has more total record or song sales
Wayne.
or downloads? Exactly.
He's been around for 20 years.
I know, but he's also a larger name,
exactly.
and if you look at that coveted 25 to 54-year-old demographic that's watching the show, they know who Lil Wayne is.
Yes, there are a lot of better options as far as bigger catalogs. Jay-Z, Kanye West, despite spinning out, he could have done it. Eminem could have done it. There's a lot of people. Kid Rock could have done it. Kid Rock would have been great, especially if he did some of his rap stuff from Death Without a Cause.
You know how good would have been if Lil Wayne, Kid Rock, Eminem, and then find me and Beyonce, or find me the Nicki Minaj, or Megan Thee Stallion, or something like that.
Glorilla. What about Glorilla, Bubba? Have you seen her?
No, but I'll take Glorilla all day.
She's wonderful.
Odds on the national anthem links for tonight's Super Bowl were closed by betonline.ag after apparent leaks from the rehearsal.
Oh, come on, that happens every year.
Yeah, there's always a leak on the Super Bowl.
Word was the long hold of the word brave would put it over 120.5 seconds. Note, bet ends after the first brave, just in case there's a second one. So the whole contest, in the fine print of betting on the national anthem, states that it's officially considered over after the very first Brave, even if they go and try to do a couple brave gimmicks.
You know what they had it clocking in at last night, Bubba?
What?
I think I have this right. Let me probably know because he bet on it. They had it clocked in at 120 seconds.
Yeah, it was a.
It was under by 0.5.
Yeah,
222.
It was good. I mean, it continued the African American theme, but it was good.
He smiles like he's blind.
I have no problem with this at all, and maybe a little less. Prior to this, the Black National Anthem and the Black Booty Fest. Had we been able to incorporate maybe some Hispanics and maybe some Caucasian people in there, maybe just a little bit.
Isn't that DEI though? If you need to start sprinkling other races in,
it is now DEI. DEI now is considered to let's see if we could get a few white people in there. Because the par is we're going to have African Americans they're locked in to being the majority of everything, and somebody needed to go to Roger and say, hey Roger, per our DEI, we have to have 3 or 4 white people in here, or we're going to have a DEI violation.
Is Louisiana majority black people, Dan?
I don't know.
Louisiana has the New Orleans specifically and Baton Rouge have a very high concentration of black people in their community. Yes, high, way more than 13%.
Oh, say, can you see?
Pretty voice.
I mean, I thought this was awesome.
Yeah, I liked it.
I had no problem.
I mean, that's a white mic, Bubba. You can't get mad at it. It's very white.
Very true.
We don't have any white
White
people,
piano.
but we do have a white piano and a white mic.
It's a pure microphone.
By the dawn's early light.
Man,
If he knew it was coming to
I was
him.
just getting ready to say, man, if you only knew what you got coming for you, right?
An ass kicking.
You know what?
Absolute ass kicking.
Bubba, I don't want to detract from this conversation and all, but maybe having Patrick Mahomes and having all these guys making so much money is the reason why they have to get running backs off the scrap heap, and it's why they had no running game at all. And I think that you're going to see that change next year, and then probably try to go get a real alpha at wide receiver like Devontae Adams. That's all I had to say.
Man, if they had Devontae Adams, oh my God, or a T. Higgins, something like that,
just something. One guy.
Do they go out and get do they go out and get old washed up Crump? A Cup?
Anybody, Bub. Anybody.
Cooper Kupp could probably play on this team. Could
Can
he
they
not?
afford anyone because of the contract they gave to Mahomes?
They have to start finding guys that want to take a little on the cheap to win.
Right.
Yes.
What's so proud?
Well, I mean, Philadelphia went and kind of revamped after losing two years ago to these guys.
They have the best roster in the NFL, though. Their GM, Howie Roseman, is unbelievable, and they just reload. And then when you go and you make a trade for A.J. Brown a few years ago, and then you sign Saquon Barkley, and just the way that they've been able to...
Why did the Giants let Barkley go?
He was done.
They're paying... Their Giants fans are never going to hear the end of it until
God.
they win until they win another Super Bowl.
And I don't foresee them winning anything.
30 years.
I mean,
they
Elon's
could draft Shador. I mean, so
yeah, you're right.
They
you're
might
right.
have that.
In fact, that's where I'm. That's the hints that I'm getting from my friend. That's where Shador's going.
They're saying Shador hook
The Giants.
They're saying Shador hooking up with Malik Neighbors would be a nasty 1-2 combo.
That would be good.
What's so proudly we...
Boy, he had a good game.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, he had a great game.
What after that first quarter interception, man? I thought that was all Kansas City needed to start getting control of the game, but he bounced back strong.
Then the defensive line of Philadelphia said, "Let's show us the good news. We're going to sack Mahomes 6 times and cause a fumble. He's going to throw 2 picks, all of them because he was getting ready to get." I mean, this feels way slower than 120.
It does.
It sure does.
I mean, my God, did anybody put a clock on it?
Yeah, probably every degenerate in the world,
Yeah.
Bubba.
Yes. That's right. You're right.
Wait till you see the videos come out today of wives and girlfriends that are recording their boyfriends and husbands losing it over missing out on the over.
0.5 on a 0.5.
Yeah.
On a half a second deal.
And guess what? That was just leg 1 of their 27 leg parlay, so they're already out.
They had the coin toss.
Yeah,
they had whether there's
screwed.
going to be a field goal dunk. They had whether there's going to be a safety. I did see the odds on an onside kick, and that was way up there.
It was.
Yeah.
That's
like 1,500 to 1 or something like that. So if you bet on an onside kick, you cashed in.
You did well.
I haven't seen her out in a while.
I know I haven't seen her out in a while, and he gets a pop,
Good pop.
too. West Point Wonder if Kevin Hazelguy's son's in there.
Kevin Hazlett's guy's son.
No, I mean Kevin Hazlett's son goes to West Point.
No, I know. We'll probably find out from Kevin soon if he was in there or not.
What's so
Walker and Sammy painted the were in charge of the Walker and Sammy during their arts and crafts were in charge of the piano artwork.
I mean, that's a cool piano. If you're, why not just have a boring, No,
it is. It's cool.
Yeah.
It is. It's
do you think
cool.
it came like that, or do you think he?
No,
got
it was a white piano that he had.
But there's no way he's not going to go over with when he did the 3.
Oh, I thought
free
it was in the bag.
freeze. I thought it was in the bag when he gave you the 3 freeze.
How nervous were
when he 3 banged this? I'm like, man, Lummy's in. Lummy's in when he 3 banged this.
of the free of the land of the
I was thinking it was like $1.30. Of the first one.
No, because if you hear him, he takes like a little breath.
Well, they cut it at the breath. They cut it at the breath.
Yeah, if he has to like redo the milk, then it's done.
Well, let's make sure.
Flyover with no one able to see the sky.
F-35 asked MW. Let's make sure we not hit any oncoming American flights.
It would be great if they had a couple of terrorists in there that just started throwing overboard, really to get people fired up.
There you
A couple
go.
people in some free Gaza Strip, and you just throw them over.
Yeah, like a dirty Hamas. You're like, hey, we saved this one for Super Bowl. Boom, out of here, dead, splatter.
So there was the national anthem, which I thought the guy nailed it. When I return, Lummy, we're gonna here's a little taste.
Oh boy,
this is when Serena Williams got on stage during the Super Bowl halftime.
I didn't know it was her until after, but I thought she did a good job.
Well, now let's just be honest. The reason why Kendrick Lamar did this is because Serena Williams is Drake's ex. That had a lot to do with that.
So this whole performance was nothing but trying to get back at Drake.
That's why I am so mad at the NFL for allowing this and to now be caught up in this nonsense.
But it's
now the NFL is part of rappers supporting rappers dissing each other.
But this whole thing, Dan, is the reason why that this is an issue is because they were little Easter eggs where it's like, okay, so he rapped about it, but then you're like, oh, Serena's there. And then I'm going, oh, is Serena from California? Is she from Compton? Is that how she knows Kendrick Lamar? I'm just trying to figure that all out.
Well, that's where she's from, and she has no, like a lot of people, like if she would be from New Orleans, they could be like, well, she's got New Orleans ties. But she doesn't. The only thing that she has,
I thought she might have West Coast ties.
The only credence that she has is that she dated Drake.
She got Drake tie.
So don't think some fancy attorney's not going to use this to shove up Kendrick Lamar's ass.
Well, supposedly, I guess Kendrick Lamar did not say pedophile. He let the fans say it.
Oh.
He dropped the lyric during the halftime show, but then obviously the crowd knew it until everyone else sang it.
Tough. Why you trolling like a? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor.
You get the double entendre there.
Yeah. But the minor?
Trying to strike a chord, it's probably a minor.
Trolling like a? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor.
That's what made the whole song, man. It was a good beat, and it was the A minor. Everybody sings along to it.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us. What? They not like us.
So she just danced.
That was kind of the theme of supposedly this whole thing is they not like us.
Oh yeah, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
But who are they?
They not like us, Dan.
But who they are?
Probably the Drake people like Drake and bitches like him, like me.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
Are you my
I thought we all trying to be like inclusive, but they not like us.
Somebody said that the NFL's whole thing is like be inclusive and end hate, and then they bring up the guy that's got the biggest diss song of the world to call another guy a pedophile.
Right.
They're saying, is that helping stop hate?
That's kind of like my whole big what I've been trying to say all morning long is the fact that like you just co-signed on exactly what you're supposed to not be.
Right.
The message that you try to give and bring out as the NFL sanctioning body, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, is inclusiveness and no hate. And I mean, we had commercials with Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg talking about don't hate, right? With regards to anti-Semitism.
Yeah, it was kind of weak.
And so, but I mean, like saying, but meanwhile, the Super Bowl halftime show was all about hate. The whole damn thing was about hate, and bringing up your exes, and saying that you're a pedophile, and I mean, come on.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No, they not like us.
And then at the end, it flashed up behind him, game over. So it's.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
Are you my friend? Are we locked in?
Damn, Serena looked good.
Serena did look good.
Yeah, she's also a weight.
I think she just had a couple of kids too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe Kendrick's gonna start blasting that.
Well, I don't think so. She's with a white man, Bubba.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, she is.
Oh yeah, she
should
is.
have. You know what? That would have been saving grace if Serena would have brought her husband with her.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's he gonna do? Just hey, here's a white guy.
I'm a white guy. I am a white guy.
They had Harry Connick Jr., man.
They already had the
cut him
token
off,
white
though.
guy.
What do you want them to do?
They cut him off.
Here we're gonna go through some ads, some of the best and worst commercials. I don't know that I have to go through the whole the halftime gimmick.
I sent
Again.
you. I'm sending you that breast commercial. By the way, that I guess I'm the only person that saw here.
The
breast cancer one?
women defender gimmick.
No, the breast cancer one where they
Is this it right here?
Yeah, they focus on boobs.
All right.
We talked about
We'll get to that.
We talked about where it would be best to have your commercials placed, and I thought it'd be best to have them at the beginning, and then you guys are like, no, it's got to be the end.
Well, it matters how close of a game it is.
Well, now I'm saying like nobody saw anything past the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I think
Nobody.
I think most people might have started wrapping it up after the halftime deal. They stayed around for the halftime deal because it's the halftime deal and it's supposed to be unbelievable and well produced and everybody likes it.
I mean, Philly fans are riding all the way through, but they're probably so nervous and about their game, the team, that they're not focused on the commercials.
I think most people, when you're up 24-0 at halftime, I think you watch the halftime celebration and you wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anybody that had commercials in the third and fourth quarter, man, they might have been worth $4 million, not $8. Because I mean, it'd be interesting to see as the
drop off,
as the ratings come out in the next day or two, what the audience drop off was.
Oh, big! I would say probably way after the halftime show.
Half?
Oh, at least half. And the halftime show didn't keep anybody, didn't put a good taste in most people's mouth.
I think everybody was curious. Everybody's curious for the halftime show.
I mean, I think everybody was very curious and then fortunately very disappointed. Because they're like, I think most people said, what is he saying? What's going on?
Yeah, it didn't start off. It didn't start off great.
Considering like we've had so many great ones. Like the Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Kid Rock. We've had just so many good ones.
You just
Nicki
need
Minaj.
You just need somebody that's got a wide, expansive body of work over a long period of time.
Yes, exactly right.
And again, Kendrick Lamar has had a hell of a year. He's not an unknown at all. He's people hold him in high regard as one of the top 2 or 3 rappers at all. Two or 3 best rappers in the game as far as writing lyrics. But as far as having like hit songs that people are going to know, that's just not him. And they seem to be okay with that.
Yeah. Well, I think in my opinion, before I go into words, they've potentially opened themselves up to some huge litigation that who wants that?
I mean, they could have had like Elton John singing Philadelphia Freedom, and it would have brought the house down instead of this tool talk about his own personal gripes that no one understood, no one cared about, no one has him as a fan. How many people that actually watch that Super Bowl that have $1 in their pocket have a KL poster in their bedroom? Jesus.
I mean, there you go. When I come back, let me see this breast commercial.
Yes.
When was it?
Third quarter.
Third. That's why nobody saw it. No, I was actually on my phone, scrolling through various things on my phone after I was full hot after I was writing myself some notes as to what I was going to talk about with regards to the halftime program. So, I mean, I don't know what they paid. Hope they didn't pay $8 million. Anybody after the Super Bowl halftime celebration that paid full freight, I'd be asking for a refund.
Yeah, sucker.
Yeah.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Like Morgan Wallen.
So many different
people would have been going crazy.
Morgan Wallen, huh?
I mean, dude, Morgan Wallen seems to, vibe with a lot of people. I'm sure he could do a couple solid collabs. Hey, Coldplay's great, man. Chris Martin can dance on his piano. Really cool hearing Tom Brady call the game. What up, Kostika?
What's up, Kostika? Is the whole Drake being called a pedophile from that video of him and the 17-year-old?
Something
else.
Yeah, there's nothing I've seen that's been like hard evidence.
I mean, the 17-year-old when he was what, 22? It's not really. Is that really getting that crazy?
It's not like this motherfucker doesn't have skeletons in his closet. What's up, Thomas?
He's what? He's almost 40, isn't he?
Kendrick probably. Look at all these people that got out of the car, man.
Over the border.
Actually, you're just gonna do black country singers.
Shabuzi?
There's Ruckers, Shabuzi, Beyonce's latest album.
Yeah.
That's about what we got.
See, this is Squabble Up. This was a banger, but...
Where's the next trip going? You know? Super Bowl? Arizona or something? Those dancers in the front are very
You
coordinated.
fucking couldn't try me in a tri-state.
Levi Stadium. Whatever. Where the 49ers play.
Oh, is it San Francisco?
Well, it's Santa Clara.
It's up there? Northern California?
Yeah, Santa Clara. And then the next year after that is Inglewood.
Longer.
So yeah, it's California, then Georgia.
Oh, it goes back to LA?
Yeah. SoFi Stadium in 2027.
It was just there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to reward the Bucks for having a shitty COVID Super Bowl with another Super Bowl. They didn't get to fill it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
it's half a 10.
They probably will. Well, technically they were supposed to have it. They got it only because California, the stadium wasn't done.
The only reason they had it?
Yeah, because LA.
So far, it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was a good thing.
Yeah. So, and the Bucks are going to have to do some renovation on that stadium. They're just saying that stadium is sent out of
state of the art.
This is one of his bigger songs.
No, they said it's
Right, Chief Charlie.
It's absolutely. They need to put a roof on it or something.
I'm so sick and fucking tired of the Photoshop.
And their lease is up next year.
That stroke just went viral.
So I think when their lease is up next year, they're going to say, we want a new stadium or skip town.
That stroke just went viral.
Was it 20-year, was it 25-year lease? Must have been 25 years. They did it right around 2000 when they flipped over to the stadium. Did they? Look at that. 96. Oh, it's a 30-year lease. 96. Can't believe
Maybe
it's
97.
I got royalty and loyalty inside my DNA.
I can't believe the stadium's that old.
That's what, yeah, it's that crazy.
I mean, I'm thinking it's like an 18-year-old stadium, you know? It's 30 years old. And it's a shithole next to, like, Dallas' stadium. And, you know, the Miami stadium is great.
Yeah, well, they spent a shit ton of money in that. Yeah, 1990, that's
Justin Timberlake didn't bring up on NSYNC when he did it a few years ago.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo Studios. Aquabedo.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Breaking down Super Bowl 59, the game. I mean, there's really not much to say. It was just a straight ass whipping.
What happened to Mahomes, man? I know there was a lot of pressure, but it seemed like he was seeing ghosts last night.
I think they put early pressure on him and then got him nervous in the pocket, and then he would start to scramble. He was throwing off his back foot. He was throwing on the run.
But it was all up to him because they had no running game and they didn't even attempt to run the ball last night.
None at all. And then they got so far behind that they were having to go quick. He threw a pick six. He had a fumble that was a sack / fumble. And then, Kansas City couldn't really stop Hurts. If they stopped Barkley for whatever times that they did, then Hurts would just scramble out for 16 or 24.
Well, I think Hurts was the leading rusher last night.
Yeah, I think he was.
So, he did everything to win Super Bowl MVP, and now he can get some of the critics off his back.
The offensive and defensive lines won the whole damn thing.
They sure did.
The offensive line gave Hurts ample time. Did you see that teardropper he threw? Lummy, that 65 teardrop.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And that was like a situational run, everybody was anticipating the 26 getting the ball, and they teardropped like a 65-yarder. So between the offensive and defensive line, the offensive side of the side giving him ample time to throw pocket awareness, and then his pocket awareness to flush out and run, along with the defensive line pressure that they put on Mahomes, in my opinion, was the ball game all itself.
And I haven't seen a running back have this kind of impact on a championship team in a real long time. You have great running backs, like the best, but you never really see those guys in the Super Bowl. It's really always about the quarterback versus the quarterback. But for the year that Saquon had to leave the Giants after all that, and now to come here, be a leader, come there and be a leader with Philly and help lead them to a championship. Their number one goal was to stop Saquon Barkley last night. They wanted Jalen Hurts to beat him with his arms. So, I just think the guy had an unbelievable season, and he's a Philly legend forever.
Let's not forget. A lot of people probably will not know this or overlook it, but the general manager for Philadelphia has built this team. He went out and got Barkley. He had an unbelievable draft, such where that 2 rookies are on defense, on the number 1 rated defense in the league. The one kid, the 33 kid from Iowa, got a pick six last night.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean, he was a second rounder. They drafted, Jalen Carter had a lot of trouble coming out of Georgia. He had killed a couple of people, or a couple of people died when he was racing them.
Right.
And then he left the scene, so he fell in the draft. The Eagles took a chance on him. And yeah, when you're able to draft guys like Devontae Smith, they drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round when they still had Carson Wentz. When you have a guy like Jason Kelsey that retires and your offensive line doesn't lose a step.
No.
They draft well and they trade well and they bring in great free agents. Everybody says it's been one of the best rosters in the NFL in the last 3 years.
And the largest offensive line in Super Bowl history.
The GM is he's the only team he's ever worked for is the Eagles. He was an intern.
Well, they better
in
sign him.
2000.
They better sign him to a long-term deal.
From
I'm telling you that right
Florida.
now. He needs to get all that money and more because he put this team together, and it's a damn good team. Hello.
Good morning, Bubba. This is Mike from Miami.
Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
Good, buddy.
Hey, quick, 2 things real quick. One, Jay-Z, he runs that music thing, so that's why the Kendrick Lamar and all the hip-hop stuff, because Jay-Z's behind the music thing. And 2, I noticed for a while that when you do the best stuff, before it used to be like older shows that you kind of forgot, but now the best shows is actually the one from like a few days ago, and I don't know who's in charge of doing the best stuff shows when you guys are gone. But
I'll make sure, Lummy. I've gotten a few reports on that. I think the guys need to pick.
Yeah,
I think
weird.
the guys need to pick older stuff and not such things that are so new. So
most recent show, yes. All right, enjoy.
Well, I can talk to this because one, the last time that happened and people complained was when we had the day off and we had a 1-day notice and we picked a week-old show. 2, we were told about a year ago to do everything for a best of show that was still relevant and to not do old shows.
I never said that.
JVC did.
Okay, well,
I'm just telling you. That's what we were told.
My position on it is I'd like the funniest stuff, period. The funniest stuff that you can put together for a show that's not the stuff is not time dated, meaning talking about something that's way over or an event that happened at that particular time, but instead just the funniest segments. You only have to find 8 of them.
Yeah,
the funniest segments, the funniest 8 segments that you can find, that are from 3 months to 24 months, something like that.
Okay, because I can
want,
say that we had a lot of people complain when we were putting stuff out there that was like, okay, well, we've heard this, and it was a year ago.
I know, but they don't want to hear something they heard a week ago either.
Well,
there's a happy medium.
First off, that guy's never happened. I'd fight him on it.
All right, well, let's just talk about it now,
No
and
problem.
that being something I'd like for something to at least be 2 months old.
No problem.
So, thank you, and I'm not trying to get up.
Oh no,
I'm not trying to be abrasive with you. I love you. I don't have a bad.
Oh, and I wasn't
mad.
arguing
I'm not
with
mad
you.
at you,
There was-
and I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, no, there were people.
I got enough heat here at work.
Oh, no, yeah, but people were like, "Well, why don't you play the stuff from like 2009?" And we're like, no, "The show that people want old shows."
Here's the thing: you anything that from this current roster,
correct?
Me, Seth, you, Dan, that's kind of the core.
Yeah.
So anything from if it's at least us 4, then it's in play.
Yeah, we sprinkle with Babyface, Gene now, the Diacos. We always try to put everyone that makes an appearance.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
But nothing. I don't want anything that's like 2 weeks old.
Okay, no, 100%.
It has to be at least 2 months old.
Gotcha. No
All right.
problem.
And I know that, and I'm not trying to get on you.
No, it's fine.
This is probably something, maybe a conversation we shouldn't necessarily have on air, but we do everything on air, which is evident by this morning and how that went. And I was, I did that Rhett situation on air today to make a point. I've bit my lip and gone to words and not said anything with him and not publicly called him out at least 3 additional times in the last couple months. And I finally wanted to let it be known how disappointed and how I will not tolerate that. When I'm done. You're telling me when you're done? I'm just saying. That's not the way things work around here. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Bubba. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Hey, I missed the whole Rhett thing. I just jumped in my ride, so
yeah,
I'm trying to catch up on that.
Yeah,
secondly,
catch a replay or something. Maybe have to fast forward. Start the show from the beginning. I think it happened fairly early.
Oh, it was in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like 12 after or something.
Well, that didn't take long, so at least you got that taken care of, Bubba. Good for you. I wouldn't listen to that either. Secondly, just a quick question. I'm not sure if Dan's in there this morning. Is whatever happened with the Jackson house, Bubba?
Well, I mean, we had a.
I was just asking. I was just curious on how that all played out. For some reason, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You were talking to a friend of yours the other day. Let's go ahead and let you tell your side of the story, and then I will tell you what happened.
The Jackson House project came up, and we were just talking about it, and I had mentioned that you had put in an effort, and I think with Dan, to do something good for that and for the community, and we were just having a discussion about things, and Bondi, and just old things that used to happen in your world. That was all.
It was like 2011, 2012, something like that, and I had gotten with the Diaco family, meaning Stephen and their law firm, and Stephen and Diaco Law were going to, under the guise of my foundation, buy the Jackson house. And we had a purchase price. We had a deal with the family. We were ready. Dan, it's my understanding we were like a day or two from closing.
You were.
Yeah. So in closing,
it was ready to go. Again, lawfare.
It was ready to go. Contract had been drawn. Steve had put down a deposit, or my foundation had put down a deposit via Steve. And we had a purchase price, and I think it was $105,000 or $110,000. I could be wrong, but I think that was it.
But it needed
$600,000 worth of stuff, and we had gotten contractors lined up through the Bubba Army and various other philanthropic people that were going to help, donate to the deal. It was going to be about an 18-month rebuild, and we had renderings and everything, and it was the exterior was going to be, we were going to put all new, but it was going to resemble it was going to look like a brand new Jackson house.
It's a restoration.
Right. And what we were going to do is downstairs, we were going to make a museum of what the Jackson house did in our community, what it represented, how it was a boarding house for African American entertainers and preachers and people traveling through Tampa that could not, African Americans back in the 40s and 50s and early 60s that couldn't go and stay at a hotel where white people were. And it was just really, a great thing for Ella Fitzgerald and B.B. King and just Louis Armstrong. And we're going to have a museum of all the famous people that were there and how special the Jackson House was to the community. And then upstairs, we had 5 different law firms, from everything from, employment law to criminal law to family law, and we had 5 or 6 different law firms that were going to come in once a week. Every law firm would have a different day and do pro bono legal work for the African American community. That was going to be the upstairs.
That's amazing.
And so we had it all situated. Steve had it all locked up. We had a bunch of Bubba Army contractors ready to help. We were ready to go, and in the 11th hour of signing the contract, even having the earnest money already in escrow, the city came and said, well, first of all, in order to, for us to prove this, you're going to have to pay all past fines, because the city continues to fine the Jackson House for being dilapidated and not being up to code. So, so it has literally at this point, when we were involved, I don't know what it has now. They may have just suspended the fines, but at the time that we were taking over, it had $35,000 of fines. And so we were like, listen, the city, you guys need to waive that, because we're coming in as the knight in shining armor here to make this a really, really good thing for the community. So the Jackson family never had any, the mindset or anything to finish this project. It was just going to sit there like it is today and eventually fall over. So you as the city need to waive your fines. And they're like, nope, we're not waiving your fines. So that added an additional $35,000 to the project, which I don't know necessarily we could have afforded or dealt with. And then they gave us these impossible benchmarks, whereas, every day, if we had to have the roof done by, let's say, July, and it took till August to get the roof done because of rain or, material shortages or something like that, the city was going to fine us $500 a day for every day we did not meet these, construction benchmarks. And we're like, that's absurd. Construction in Florida has a lot of variables, materials, and people that are doing this are doing it on the side to help the whole cause. So we may be late in some of these benchmarks. Our plumbing might be 10 days late. Our roofing might be 15 days late. Plus we have weather in Florida as well. They're like, nope. So they had like all these benchmarks of different, phases of the project that needed to be done by these particular dates. And they weren't, and they don't put these benchmarks on anything that most 501c3 corporations try to do when it's helping the community. And at that point, Steve, me, Tom Bean, Dan, and Jay, and I think maybe Daddy Joe got together, and it was like they are setting us up to fail. They are setting us up to fail. There's no way that we can consciously buy this property and fix it up without them being up our ass the entire time trying to bankrupt us so that they can, because they didn't want me to have anything that I could say I was doing good for the community.
Exactly, Bob. But their hatred for you caused them to be self-destructive. It's like when Biden, just to be opposite of Trump, opened up the border. Everything that Trump did, he tried to do the opposite of, just to do the opposite of. And it was destructive. And they were so hell-bent on preventing you from having any kind of win, any kind of success, any kind of, philanthropic opportunity that they shot themselves in the foot, and they kept that thing a dilapidated embarrassment to the city and to the African Americans that put their time into that place and were forced to go there instead of the white man hotel.
And here's
disgusting.
The deal. It's
Bob Buckhorn, you're the racist.
Yeah, true. And here's the deal, man. That's a national historical site. And, we were getting all types of great input from the National Historical Society, from the NAACP. We were just getting a lot of people that were really, really excited about bringing this landmark back to life, so to speak. And because their hatred for me, I can't even do anything nice. They try to thwart that because they are all about making me look stupid, feel stupid, and they treat me stupid. And they're mad because, I'm the only one that really has held any of these people accountable. And it's just, it's absolute, it's a crime as to how all this went down. Meanwhile, had they let us do it in 18 months, we would have had what we had planned to do. And God, can you imagine, Dan, all the people, the thousands of people we would have helped by now?
Oh, yes, because of the pro bono legal help. And it would have been a destination where people could have come to this place and learned about some black history in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It was important, and it still is important. And it's just shameful that they have let this national treasure flail.
It's just going to fall over one of these days. It's literally if Lummy pushed it hard like he was blocking a defensive edge rusher, it'd be over. It's bad.
It's a tush push away from falling over.
It's a tush push. It's the brotherly shove from being rubble. So anyway, I hope that answered your question, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely, Bubba. I just wanted to bring some light to it because I kind of knew that was what had happened to it without all those details, and it's pathetic to know that a person or a group tries to do good, and just because someone has mesothelioma or doesn't like someone,
we had $105,000 in escrow. We had it purchased. The family was ready to sign it over to us until the city got involved. It's just absolutely. We should do a documentary just on that. My God, and the players, Dan, and all the seediness, and and remember somebody got an email chain from Bob Buckhorn, and he was calling me an idiot and a fat ass and all this kind of things. So anyway, man, buddy,
you can hear the passion. You can hear that passion in Dr. Dan's voice that. It means something to the people and the residents of Tampa. So
it does, and it was such a screw job, dude. When I was watching it because I wasn't quite as involved in it as Steven and Bubba were. They were really, and Jay, they were really the
and hold on, and Rob Adams.
They were all involved.
The whole law firm was involved.
Yes, but it seemed like it was I didn't have that type of involvement, and watching it from the outside and watching it unfold and how disgusting it was. And again, political machines run towns, and that political machine was running this town at the time.
Bob Buckhorn, and I hope to God that he doesn't that he's going to. They were saying that the next mayoral race, which Jane Castor can't run in because there's 8 leader. Now Tampa has. Sir, appreciate you. Thank you. Tampa has a rule like where you can do 2 terms, and then if you sit out a term, you can do another 2 terms.
Yep.
So supposedly Bob Buckhorn's raising his snaggletooth back up. Snaggletooth, stupid fat-faced son of a bitch. He's raising his head back up for the Tampa mayoral race because he can't win anything else. I have half a mind to declare my permanent residency at Dan's Carriage House, live within the city of Tampa, and run against him. Just I could get the majority of the black vote just based on what I was going to try to do for them.
And what he obstructed. Oh, you'd kill him on the black vote. You would kill him on the black vote, especially if it was truly a non-partisan type of election.
Get Craig and Rio up in here helping me, Seth.
Oh, for sure.
Have them be my campaign managers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Lummy, this is the breast awareness cancer. What is this? The breast awareness.
Breast cancer awareness.
Breast cancer awareness commercial.
Yes.
And it was exactly a minute. So is that like $16 million? Because they were going for $8 million or 30.
Yes.
And this is a minute. 8 times 2, 16.
Maybe they give you a deal. 15 for a whole minute.
Whoa, I like this.
We need all commercials like this.
How did I miss this?
You get lift, you get height, you get power. Your attention, please.
I mean, this is probably like in the 3rd quarter, you say?
Yes. That's what we saw.
Damn.
Really?
Dan's in the boob business. He's like, how'd I miss this? Say so much attention yet ignored. Over 6 million women watching today's game may be diagnosed with breast cancer.
Let's start paying attention to breasts when it matters the most. Early detection for breast cancer is a game changer, and why I'm able to be here today. So let's get more women screened than ever before. Go to yourattentionplease.com and take the first step.
There you go. I mean,
they love it.
They may have, Dan, actually maybe promote that as a public service deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Probably got a discount on it, but
probably for free.
I don't know if they get it for free, but the thing that's really shameful about this is that women should be getting mammograms probably now at 40 and every year afterwards.
Thereafter.
And they're not. And most insurance companies aren't paying for it. They're paying for sex changes. They're paying for all these other things. But they won't pay for a woman to get her mammogram,
her boobs checked out,
and they won't pay for PSAs, for prostate exams for old guys. And another thing they don't pay for traditionally, and it's so hard to get, is when some women are really cursed with like very large breasts, like too large, hypermastia, giant breasts.
Call it hypermastia?
Hypermastia,
right.
Yes. And
Seth, by the way, Seth's a big fan of hypermastia, just so you know.
But most insurance companies are really dicks about paying for that as well. And so I think women should be
breast reduction?
Yeah, women should be outraged at how insurance coverage isn't really helping them. And insurance coverage has gotten DEI'd. And so much money for insurance is being diverted towards these really bizarre niche causes and more vaccines. So it's shameful. And I think that one of the things that RFK Jr. is going to do in his role in the new government is highlight some of this hypocrisy and really get to like, why are we not protecting ourselves from the cancer risks that are known? Women need mammograms. Guys need PSAs at 40. Guys need to get PSAs. Colonoscopy should be paid for at 50 or younger. We should be doing better screening, and we're not. And it's a shame because most cancers are quite treatable if they're caught early. And if you catch them late, it's a death sentence.
Hi, who's this?
Bubba, it's Brian from Philly, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, bud. What's going on?
You happy?
Good hearing from you. Yeah, you got.
I'm actually in Philly. I'm in Philly right now.
It's probably a madhouse.
Dude, you got to give Philly credit. They didn't burn down the city. There was no looting. I mean, they really.
Really?
Wait for the
parade. Wait for the parade.
The parade. It's all the parade.
Yeah.
Well, Philadelphia
needs
to be proud. That's one of the most dominant displays of winning I've ever seen in the Super Bowl. That might be one of the most lopsided ass kickings I've seen in the Super Bowl.
Bears
in a long
won 45-10.
That's okay. Since the Bears
in New Orleans, by the way,
in the Super Bowl shuffle, where they where they screwed Sweetness and they let their fridge score a touchdown, but Walter Payton, the greatest Bear, arguably the greatest Bear of all time, didn't score a touchdown on their only Super Bowl appearance. That's bull crap. Ditka took a lot of heat for that, didn't he, Seth?
He did, yeah.
As he should. And Walter didn't say anything because Walter always kept his mouth shut and just put his nose down to the ground and worked. But, and I think Ditka always said he just got kind of caught up in the moment and didn't even know that Walter didn't have a touchdown. So
I just wanted to bring up one of the other big ass whoopings just off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was a big ass. That was probably since this one, the next biggest ass whooping.
I mean, you go with the Cowboys-Bills. That was most points. It was, 52-17, I think, 52-10.
When was that? Like in
93, 94?
Was it the most sacks, I wonder?
I don't know. Yeah. But by the I don't see Philadelphia. I don't see them. I don't see them not being this good next year. I mean,
they'll be good.
I mean, they got everybody under contract that they need, and they got a bunch of rookies that contribute. I mean, that's a recipe for a long-time dynasty. But the NFC stout, man. The NFC, you got Detroit, you got Chicago that got half of Detroit's coaching staff. You got Minnesota that got the guy got coach of the year. Packers are stout. Bears are going to be better.
Tampa.
Tampa's nothing to sneeze at. I'm just saying, man, the NFC is loaded. I mean, San Fran, I think they had a down year this year. Rams, they're all going to reload.
San Fran's falling apart, but Washington, I mean, has a bright future.
Right.
The Bucks are always there right now.
Is San Fran falling apart?
Yes, they have to pay Brock Purdy. Debo Samuel asked for a trade, so he wants to leave. So,
do you think Shanahan's good coach or a bad coach?
I think he's a very good coach, but I mean their window's been open for a little while, and at some point it's going to slam shut.
And then eventually that cap gets you.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's Christian McCaffrey not being able to play a lot doesn't help.
So, Brian from Philly, anything else real fast?
No, actually, I flew up to Philly and watched the game with my 93-year-old father last night. It was awesome. It's probably going to be the last time he ever sees the Eagles in a Super Bowl.
Probably. Unless they do.
Probably. I mean, what if he lives 10 more years? I mean, they could rip off 3 or 4. let's not put him in the grave just yet.
We'll do a repeat.
All right, Brian from Philly. Good talking to you.
See you, dude.
When we return, Taylor Swift gets booed. Donald Trump gets put over. There's just people hated the Tom Brady Snoop Dogg hate. People hated the anti-hate ad. So people hated the anti-hate ad
because people love hate.
Yeah.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
The Rams are number 1 with 7. Rams, Broncos, Bears, Steelers all at 7. Bucks had 5 against the Raiders.
I thought they had a bunch of sacks against them. What was that score against the Raiders?
48-21.
What was this one? 44-20?
So the big 40-22. I mean, then you got the 49ers, Denver 55-10.
That's a big loss.
Never gonna stop Ron Baum. Be everywhere. That was where's everything? Okay. What's up, Key Dog? Booty Mama, 40 months.
Halftime. Yeah, it was a fucking ass whooping. Morning, guys.
What's up, man?
What's up, Jay? How you doing, Bubba?
Dude, the top 4 player props all did not hit last night.
They did not hit?
Nope. Saquon rushing yards, Dallas Goedert receiving, Travis Kelce receiving, and Patrick Mahomes rushing attempts.
All not.
Yeah, all didn't happen.
What was the over-under in his rushing attempts?
5.5.
Really?
Which I think running for his life is
should be considered right.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's always looking to throw it. But I figured maybe towards the end of the game he would have run a little bit more. That is a lot, though.
He had one big run that got called back.
Here we go. 25.
I didn't know it was 8:30 already. I know. Like Jay surprised. Like, who's that?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo Studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Jay Diaco in the studio for 30 minutes with his brother, then he'll spend the last hour with us as well. No high karate today.
I do. It just hasn't made its way over there.
It hasn't quite waffled over here.
It will eventually.
It's not as intense. No, it's less.
Today's a little, yeah.
I don't smell it.
I'm very good on my sniffer.
Yeah.
So Jay, I was there. I go. I got a little whiff of it there. Maybe.
It's nice though, isn't it?
It's good. I like
you.
It's I think I agree with your brother. It's you. It's you.
I have a smell,
and you're nice.
Yes,
and you're nice.
You have an aroma.
You got a legal wrangling today because you're suited up.
I do. I have a hearing at 10 sharp, so I'm going to do it in your studio if I may.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, how are you going to do that?
I talked to Lummy back studio.
Oh man.
I just need a wall behind me. Hall of Fame.
Let me. You got it.
Do it with the bus behind me, Bubba. Could you imagine?
Can you imagine, Mr. Diaco? Where are you at right now? Are you in Canton or something? Like, what's going on, buddy?
I'm doing from the Bubba Army royalty table up there.
Oh, okay. Bubba, you talking about Bubba the Love Sponge?
Yeah.
We're ruling against you right now. Whatever. We don't even
Thank you, Judge. May I have another?
Before you even open up your whatever spiel you got, if you're here, if you're at the Bubba the Love Sponge facility, I'm officially giving you you're going to catch a big loss right here.
You look good, you sound good, but the answer is no.
Yeah. So listen, I'm sure you watched the Super Bowl as we all did, and one of the things that I hated the halftime celebration.
Me too.
And to me, the NFL, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, Fox, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, to me, just got themselves potentially served on a defamation slander. What is it? Defamation slander. What is the other one would be?
Libel.
And libel. Okay, I mean, if you could prove that they knew what Kendrick Lamar was going to say, which I'm sure they had all these dress rehearsals, and they knew that Kendrick Lamar was going to use their stage provided, the stage they provide, the platform they provide for him to call another rapper a pedophile. To me, that seems like I would not want to be in the provider of that. And to me, again, like I told Dan, I think the expression is anybody can sue a ham sandwich. Anybody can sue anybody. And to me, it seems like you're now have infused yourself into possibly being liable or being, at least maybe get sued with regard to this ongoing Drake / Kendrick Lamar beef that's already part of a lawsuit right now.
Is it part of a lawsuit already?
Yeah, there's a lawsuit that Drake has already filed with Kendrick Lamar calling him a pedophile.
Oh,
And
see, I didn't
so-
know that as a foundational point, because I was going to disagree with you and say, art and parody are really protected genre of media. And so that's like to the old Jerry Falwell case where he was talking about his mom having like incestual sex or something like that in an outhouse, that cartoon. And it was so wildly outrageous that it was deemed
Which is
to be,
actually case law on almost every First Amendment case. Falwell versus Flint.
the People versus Larry Flint
is the absolute first bit of case law that you guys always refer to.
Yep, and that's that Woody Harrelson movie. It was done probably 25 years ago.
Right.
And it was really pretty accurate. And so, I guess I should ask you, as someone who's a media expert, doesn't this kind of fall into that area?
Not with if it was predetermined. I think fleeting would be different if Kendrick Lamar just pulled some fleeting impromptu stuff out of his ass. Perhaps, but if they could prove that the lyrics that he sung last night didn't deviate from rehearsal, and nobody asked him during rehearsal, why are you calling him a pedo?
Well, I mean, it's part of the song.
That would mean everyone who ever played it on the radio would be responsible for it too, Bubba.
I understand that.
Dr. Remy,
But I'm-
like $100.
But I mean,
But it's not hyperbole. It's not parody.
Do you want to hear the lyrics?
Yeah.
It's an actual.
Let me hear the lyrics.
It's an actual. It's not.
Statement.
It's not
It's a
hyperbole.
statement.
It's not. Hey, in my opinion, reason. I don't know. I don't know it to be true, but word on the street, or the hot news. Nothing like that. Everything that you're supposed to frame things by. It wasn't that at all. In fact, do you have the lyrics, Seth? You can either say them or play them.
I can't play anything right here.
You
But
can- But yeah, can you utter it?
the words.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
here we go. Now this is from last night's Super Bowl.
This is part of his song. This has been part
Did
of
he
his song.
performed last night?
Yeah,
right?
this has been part of his song since day one.
All right, here we go.
Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1 to any bitch that talk to him and they in love. Just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one on the planet to get your hand-me-downs. Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
Again, man,
Certified pedophile.
Certified.
That's
certified pedophile.
Certified Lover Boy was one of the name of Drake's albums.
And again, this isn't.
And then he
this
basically
is,
says you're a certified pedophile.
Yeah.
And so there's been a suit dropped already, defamation, slander, libel suit from Drake. Now, if you know that, and you're Fox and you're NFL, and you don't make any changes to that, when it's already, there's a tort already filed.
Yeah.
I think that you've possibly given Drake some way more mileage and way big companies. I mean, listen, if it's Jimmy Shingle Shack, like I said earlier today, that says this, it's one thing. But if it's, hold on. Not only is it Fox and the NFL, but it's also arguably the largest gathering of all eyeballs in the history of, this is the event
Worldwide.
every year that gets the largest audience in the world. So, why would you want anybody to call anybody a pedophile in a song that you're hosting as the NFL when there's no record of him? Listen, if Drake had been arrested for being a pedophile, or there was testimony saying, or there was 4 or 5 girls that have come out and said that he touched me and all that kind of nonsense, there was a little bit of wiggle room on that. But this is just Kendrick Lamar conjuring all this stuff up. So, I mean, in my opinion, Jay, as if I was legal counsel, which I'm the furthest thing for Fox or for NFL, I'm taking Kendrick Lamar aside and said, you're not going to use our 200 million person global stage to continue your possible litigious rant against, a guy that's probably, what's Drake worth, Lummy? $700-800 million?
Oh, look it up.
And what's the scariest client? A client with money.
Yeah.
A client that's well funded. A client that can go to Jay and say, Jay, I can pay your hourly. I don't need you to get points on it. I can pay your hourly rate.
Yeah, a fat alligator, because they're not desperate, they're patient, and they can really plan your demise.
Right.
250 million is what he's estimating.
Yeah, so a guy that worth 250 million. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. I want, because you've tried cases on my behalf in First Amendment slander, libel that we won, that I said outlandish things about.
Which were clearly hyperbole and parody, like you said. It was in different context, and in that context, there's a couple things that, first of all, you're very good and persuasive because I think you've changed my mind. But the first thing is, if you know that you're trying to be uniting, like you and Danny were saying earlier, then you should have somebody like a Paul McCartney. You could even have Drake. Drake is a way bigger artist that has so much music that everyone remembers and knows. I watched it with my son, and he's, 17. He's probably the demographic. He couldn't stand it. He can't stand the beef between them. He thought it was stupid. And not because he's an old boomer, but because why are they allowing a beef to go on on international television?
When never in the 59 years of having the Super Bowl, 58 years prior, there's never been anybody that calls out somebody as part of a beef that has an ongoing defamation, slander, liable lawsuit. Why? Listen, corporations always skew on the side of being cautious and trying to, they have Fox has 25 JDiacos and the NFL has 50 JDiacos.
Yep.
And how all 75 JDiacos said, yeah, that'd be okay. It'd be okay for him to sing his hit single that calls Drake a pedophile and puts him in with that you know what, we're gonna be okay. We are ready. We are prepared to get involved in another lawsuit. I mean, it's my understanding that huge corporations do everything. They hire the JDiacos so that they don't get sued.
I'll be sending a 770 notice over this morning for sure.
Right.
For sure, because when you put it in because I don't pay attention to the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. It's so stupid. It's so futile. So, but when you put it in the context of that the NFL knew or should have known that there was existing litigation regarding this exact song and this exact lyric, and to allow him to rehearse it, have a playlist, have his performers know it, and just by virtue of not saying the word and letting the audience say it, that's okay? I don't know. I think I'd rather be on Drake's side.
Here's the deal, man. It may not go anywhere, but it's going to be costly. It's going to be a pain in the ass to defend, and it just potentially could. You got a 50-50 chance of a judge letting that go to trial. You have a 50-50 chance of getting summary judgment on the deal based on Falwell versus Flint. But you also got a 50-50 chance of a judge saying, you know what, I'm going to let this go ahead and play out.
Because it's reckless disregard. It's the malice. And so malice is defined as a reckless disregard for the truth or knowingly publishing something with knowing it's falsity. And so in this case, they knew or should have known it was reckless for them to allow it. If everyone in the world except for me and Danny know that there's this beef going on, then the lawyer should have said, we're not going to allow this song to be performed. He's got plenty of other songs. You do not need to have this one. We're not allowing this kind of on-air beef. Stupid.
I mean, now Fox would be insulated if they would be able to prove during rehearsals that the guy didn't either one sing the lyrics or two didn't do that, and they could prove that he kind of went off script. That would give him some possible standing to get out of it. But I mean, I'm sure that they knew everything that was going to happen. It seems as though since Jay-Z has taken over from Super Bowl 2020 on down, it's just a big, I don't know, it's gotten very ethnic and very, I don't know. When we looked at last year's demographics of the Super Bowl, the largest demographic for the Super Bowl is 35 to 64. They had 55 million people last year watch the Super Bowl. And the next largest demographic is at 50 million at 25 to 54. So you got 104 million people between the ages of 25 and 64, which is about 60% of your audience watching. That's what your audience composes of. Why are you bringing out artists that those people can't identify with? When that's the majority of your, again, 60% of your audience is 25 plus. Why would you not bring in an artist that represents the people that are watching, that are going to potentially go out and buy the products that your advertisers are selling or promoting? And why are you worried about the 12 to 24 crowd that represents 9.5% of your audience? Why?
It makes no sense. And, Danny said something that was also brilliant, which is like, if you have Philadelphia Freedom being played by Elton John or somebody who's like a legend. I mean, Danny and I have been fortunate enough to go to about 10 or 11 Super Bowls because of Dad. We always had the ability to go to Super Bowls our whole life since he was the Bucs doctor. And so we've seen some incredible halftime shows.
Remember
But I mean,
Prince
we saw,
in
like,
Miami?
Prince,
Awesome.
Bruce
The
Springsteen,
Who.
Paul McCartney, The Who, Patti LaBelle. I just was looking at some of the lists of people: Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Gloria Estefan, Tony Bennett. I mean, these were larger than life, already established artists, and it's like they just gave this dude the biggest opportunity of his life. Why?
And
I listened to the music, and by the way, I love rap still, and there's some stuff that my son listens to, and it's all about the beat for me. The lyrics I could give a crap about, but there was nothing about that halftime show that made me want to look him up, go to Apple, buy a song, or do anything. I wanted to turn it off.
So I just can't. I think that this is going to be an absolute crap storm for the people that allowed Kendrick Lamar to have this opportunity to, basically, defame and slander Drake. Now listen, if Drake had gotten arrested for dealing with kids, or he was a known pedophile because, he'd been investigated or sued prior or something like that, I don't know of any instances where he's been sued civilly, where he's been indicted criminally,
nor even a fraudulent allegation. I've never heard anything remotely similar to that about him.
So I don't know, man. To me, I just scratch my head as to knowing how slander, malice, defamation, liable works, because I was involved in a 4-year lawsuit with you as lead counsel. I just scratch my head at what Kendrick Lamar was allowed to do, how horrible it was, how the average person couldn't gravitate to it. And it was the worst by far in all the years I've been watching the Super Bowl, the worst performance ever, in my opinion.
Bubba, I think every halftime show should be a breast cancer awareness, 15 minutes of breast cancer awareness.
I think so.
Boobs bouncing for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
commercial was awesome,
right? Every person that watches NFL football would have an interest in that. The women worried about the breasts and the breast cancer, the guys oogling over the breasts. It would be paradise for everyone.
Yeah. Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Bergie. I was going to say there was also this kind of hypocrisy related to the NFL removed end racism and from the helmets in the end zone yesterday and put in choose love. So choose love is not exactly what they did with this halftime show at all.
Good point.
No, great point. I mean, it's just like, I don't know if the NFL is now kicking themselves in the ass as to how this, trickulated through, probably because of Jay-Z's influence. I don't know if Jay-Z's fireable or not. Maybe that's a worse PR nightmare but somebody needs to be held accountable for allowing this performance to happen. It's very problematic on a whole bunch of different ways. I mean,
and Jay-Z has had some issues with. Hasn't Jay-Z had some accusations?
Yes, and if we just fundamentally take it down to how entertaining it was, let's take the possible exposure of being maybe sued civilly for liable defamation, slander. Take that out of it. Let's just look at the pure entertainment factor of did the average 25 to 64-year-old male find that something that they wanted to tell their friends the next day how great it was? Or did the average guy like me and Dan and Jay and Seth, even Seth, who's pretty pop culturally hip, was like, man, that sucked. That was horrible.
I just wanted to see some. I wanted to see some surprises. I mean, I know he brought out Serena.
That was the only surprise.
I know that he had SZA that sang with him, and then the guy at the end was Mustard, who produced "Not Like Us." I was looking for.
None of those people really are big time mega stars that would warrant the Super Bowl stage.
Well, and even if they are, they're not that demographic you just referred to. None of us know who the hell those people are. I know who Serena was.
I don't know who SZA is or Dr. Mustard.
I kept asking my son. He's like, I think that's Serena Williams. He actually called most of it. He's like, I think that's SZA. But it was like even he had to really go to the back depths of his mind to see who these people were.
And Trey, 17, 18 years old. Is that really your everybody that paid $8 million for a commercial, are they targeting Trey? No. Not a one of them.
95% of the people I watched the Super Bowl with are all our age, and we had one person trying to explain to us who the people were at the halftime show.
Right.
Because no one else knew.
Right. When I return, Taylor Swift gets booed. And a bunch of other, we'll actually navigate through a few commercials as well, good and bad, when we get back.
If You want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past? Go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of them that we like. Boys to Men, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, Queen Latifah, and Grambling State University Band coming out and doing their whole big deal.
We went through every year halftime shows.
Yeah, I remember as cheesy as Gloria Estefan was. That was an incredible halftime show. There was 20 people on there playing live music.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was
a band. The whole
sync.
fucking band.
Right.
It's the whole fucking band.
And there weren't lip sync.
The Miami Sound Machine.
Do you remember Paul McCartney in Jacksonville?
Mm-hmm.
The pyrotechnics. I mean, Live and Let
Unreal.
Die. I couldn't. I mean,
it was unreal.
We saw Live and Let Die.
Yeah,
That's
unreal. Prince and singing Purple Rain in the Rain.
I don't like Bruce Springsteen, and we saw him sing.
No, but he's still iconic. He's been around for 40 years. Yeah,
it was incredible.
I don't have to agree with the guy's political views. But
Let me
he's still
get,
iconic.
you got Jay handled for his Zoom?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Look at that.
Is it right at 10, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Or so we need to leave a little bit early today? Probably 5 till, so you get set
Sure,
up?
that's plenty. That's plenty of time. Bubba, you'll find this interesting. So I have a hearing on Wednesday. After the hearing, the judge says, you guys have been dealing with this issue for 2 years. I want you to go outside and talk about it. So we go outside, and the lawyer says, I'm not prepared. So we send him an email on Thursday. Let's get together. Doesn't respond until Friday. Says we're ready to talk yet. Here's like all these list of conditions. So I let another email late on Friday that says, let's talk. Pick up the phone. The judge instructed us to work this out because we're quote unquote smart lawyers. Let's work it out. Guy didn't even respond. So we've had no
You send those
meet
emails
and
to the
confer.
judge. I sent those emails to the judge.
Yeah.
Homeboy won't talk to me.
The rule is you must meet and confer before a hearing.
Yes.
And she instructed. I've never had a lawyer in my 30 years walk out of the courtroom and say, "No, I'm not going to do what the judge says."
Assholes.
She is, and the Miami lawyer's going to get it. The judge is not going to be happy with the local rules judge. Last hearing of the rule says you can only file 10-page motion. You filed 16 at 4 o'clock the day before. He was pissed.
Same lawyer?
Same judge, same lawyer.
Oh man, that's a dumb motherfucker. It's a dumb motherfucker.
It's that same case, Dan, the sleeper cab. I mean, 6 years old.
He's going to sanction him.
Is there a page rule?
Say again?
Does the judge have a page rule?
10-page rule, and he filed a 10-page 2 days, and he filed a 16-page motion 4:40 the day before.
When we went to federal trial with Whittemore, Foster knew Whittemore because he'd been here, you know. And these people that were suing me were from Philadelphia and New York.
How about Sabrina Carpenter next year?
And Whittemore had a 75-page rule, and Foster knew that that's like one of Whittemore. Like some judges, that's our hot spot, and other ones would be like, whatever. This was really Whittemore was really strict on his page rule, and the Philadelphia New York lawyers come in like 106 pages over 75. And the first time we went to court, it was nothing but him, the judge, dressing down these attorneys, saying they must not take things too seriously around here. And this isn't the Southern District of New York. We're just sitting there giggling.
It's the judges take the local rules very seriously, and when people don't follow the local rules, it really irritates judges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if they have a couple rules on top of the local rules.
She has her other local rules, and she's got her own court rules.
Yeah,
this one's right in her rule. Sherry gave it to me right before the hearing. She goes, "Look at this one." I'm like, "Ooh,
glad to see it. Glad to see it."
That's the difference between hiring a local guy who knows his way around the 13th Circuit, or you bring some out-of-towner.
Bubba, do you want me to skate now or do you want me to skate in 5?
Your call.
I'll just skate in 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your call, buddy.
I just don't want to be disruptive.
All right, whatever, buddy. Whatever's good for you.
I'm not going to say anything.
we saw the Rolling Stones too. You're right about that." J5, 100% correct.
Why Samuel Jackson 5?
Jay-Z 5. Michael Jackson.
With Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson 5 with Michael Jackson. With Michael. Before he hit puberty. Went back when he was a kid.
What do you think about Tito Jackson and Britney Spears next year?
What'd you say?
Tito Jackson.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I think Aqua Bieto is available now, Lummy, at 7-Elevens, are they not?
Yeah, so they're rolling them out there.
And I think Walmart, too.
Walmart and Amazon.
Look for that, the ultimate in canned water. That's what we are fueled by when we can keep it in stock. Thank you to Jason Thomas, the part of the he said / Oregon, the Oregon Bubba Army. So thank you, Jason Thomas. 25 with the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army.
Dr. Remilak, 105 on the Venmo.
Thank you, Dr. Remilak. That's for you, my friend. We will do an after show today, Lummy. Me, you, Seth, for the uncensored podcast that you and I and Seth will throw together real fast.
Perfect.
Tomorrow will be Clem and Kush. Then Wednesday, I don't know what we're going to do Wednesday. Let me work to figure. You know what we have to do? We may have to figure some stuff out.
Yes, we do after the show, yep.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, just...
For you not being here the next...
Well, for me not being here and some other people not being here.
Oh.
Wednesdays and Fridays may take a hit.
Is that official?
That's pretty much how I feel about it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I've had enough. That's been an ongoing thing that doesn't seem to be able to remedy itself.
I'm sure you're going to think about it off the air.
No, I've thought about it off the air all morning.
Oh. I don't mean when you're on the field still, Bubba. I mean, when you're
I'm
in
just,
the locker room.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm going to put whatever. We probably shouldn't get into that. Taylor Swift booed now, how do you boo Taylor Swift?
Just stupid.
Like, you Philadelphia hard-ass son of a bitches. Like, we know Kansas City's not going to boo her, but, come on. I mean, what has she got to do with it?
Let me ask, Bubba, because there were do you think that Kansas City fans are poor from traveling to all the recent Super Bowls? Because it was so loud. It was a Philadelphia home game every time the Eagles did something. And then, yes, cheering Taylor Swift. I think, half of people, everybody's, annoyed with her for some reason. But yes, the Eagles fans probably couldn't wait to do that.
I wouldn't boo her.
I just felt like it was a total Philadelphia takeover last night.
Here's the thing. I think it might have been, I don't know what the crowd composition was with regards to 50-50, 60-40.
It sounded like 70-30, man.
But I'll tell you this one thing. I think the Philadelphia people are louder and drunker, and so that makes you louder. Just right out of the box.
But do you think since Kansas City's like, we've gone to the Super Bowl the last 2 years, I just can't afford it anymore, so we're just going to watch from home.
And that Philadelphia guy gets that ticket.
The Philadelphia guy's been saving up for the last 2 years,
right?
Ready to go see his team again.
So this is when they show Taylor Swift on the Jumbotron, which she looks cute, by the way.
Is she with Ice Spice?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, that looks like...
But she's like, why am I getting booed? I'm like, what's going on here?
You take a position that's going to irritate half the country. Sometimes that happens.
Well, talking about her Kamala Harris endorsement, I did have my buddy Gooch text me and said if the presidential election went the opposite way that it did, this Super Bowl would have been way more pop culturally accepted. And I think he's dead on. I think that's something that we didn't really look at. But this Super Bowl was built around the Democrat winning the election. The whole thing was built around that. Had the election gone anti-Trump and gone Kamala, this Super Bowl wouldn't be as many things to say were wrong with it.
You wouldn't be allowed to. You wouldn't be able to
true.
state your real feelings because everyone had to like bite their tongue for the last 5 years.
What would have been different if?
I think the Kendrick. I don't know. I think just the whole vibe. The whole vibe would have been a different vibe.
Like, you mean like more white people or?
No, more like the influx of the ratio of African Americans to white would have been more okay than it is now.
It would have still said end racism in the end zone. You wouldn't have had the president attend. Kamala Harris would never have attended. We would have never had the Carl's Jr. sexy girl videos. We would have never had the Bud Light, Shane Gillis commercials. Because what happened is it's a return to normalcy. And there's back to like patriotic. I mean, the one thing I did like about Kendrick Lamar's set was red, white, and blue with Samuel L. Jackson coming out like Uncle Sam. And they were doing the flag. And I mean, there was a little bit of, subtle patriotism to it. And there was a lot of pro-USA, from Travis Kelce to Mahomes.
Well, that's probably because of the guy that did win.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I think there were some changes that they could not help change, but I think they couldn't change the lineup of the musicians, the commercials.
I mean, did you not find it? And I'm the only one that's really saying this. Maybe I'm the only one that's not afraid to be canceled. But that is, the very, very, very opening segment was 100% African American. Yeah. The marching bands, the booty girls, that. The second part, which was the African American national anthem, and then there was not one Caucasian or Latino person in any of that fracas. None of it. None. Zero. I found myself asking the people that I was watching this, where are all the white people? Is there any white people allowed to perform? And then they threw Harry Connick Jr. in there for just did wet your beak just a little bit, and then they went back over to the Kendrick Lamar. I don't think they had one white person. I think the opening segment with the band, I saw a white tuba player. One.
Was there?
I think there was one.
It was an all-black, all-female band.
Okay, but I think there was one white tuba player.
Was it HCBU College? I mean, I love that personally.
Yes,
I
know.
I have no problem with that. I think that's awesome.
Why can't a white person be part of the choir when they're doing the African American national anthem? Why can't a white person say, I feel strongly about African Americans having their own national anthem, and I'm all for this?
They don't know the lyrics?
Well, you can learn them.
Yeah, they can learn them. It's only 2.5 minutes.
I don't think black people.
Twice as long as.
I don't think Ty J knows the lyrics. I don't think Dion knows the lyrics.
No one does.
I don't think any black guy knows the lyrics. Craig and Rio don't need the. In fact,
don't you say that about my guys? I'll find out tomorrow at Pigmentation.
Ask us to sing it on the show.
Yeah.
Ask us to say right now, sing the national anthem.
I want you to open up with, Craig Rio. I'm putting you on the spot. One of you two have got to know the black national anthem. Now sing it. Ready and action.
You can say the same thing about the regular national anthem with any American. They'd be like, da, 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 da,
can you see? We all know it.
We know 95% of it. We'll screw up with like instead of over.
We'll mess up some of it, but we know the gist of it. At the end of the day,
they don't even know the gist of it. You're right.
Bursting in air. Gave proof through the night. I mean, we all know it.
You're pretty good, Bob. That's good.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave. See, we all know. We don't got to go through the land of the free and the home
and the home
brave.
What would you think about doing the Canadian national anthem and the Mexican national anthem just to kind of like make sure that we're super cool with them after we threaten the tariffs?
I love the Canadian anthem at hockey games.
Oh, it's great. Canada's a top 5 anthem on earth.
Canada. That's all I know.
Our home and native land.
Seth knows the whole thing more than the American.
So I'm just saying, man.
Games.
So I mean, why can't you put a white girl in that crowd of African American backup singers? Why can't you? Why can't you?
Why can't you put a Latin person in
And
there?
it doesn't really say black national anthem, and it's meant to be an inclusive national anthem, and so make a mixed, inclusive, melting pot crowd singing it instead of making it racist.
What if you're Caucasian and you feel that strongly about that song, and that song, shows strength and unity in the African American community, and that's what you want to, that's your gig and your jam, as it should be with all of us. Why can't we sing it?
You should all sing it together.
Why can't we be part of the presentation?
Right.
No, it was 99% black for the opening part with the bands and the booty dancers and all that. And they threw a little Harry Connick in there.
Can I keep it buck with you?
And then it was 99% black for Kendrick Lamar. And then it was 99% black for the Black National Anthem. And then it was 99% black for the Star Spangled Banner.
They showed one white chick and they started booing. So they were probably afraid if they had some white performers, they're going to get booed right off the
Taylor
stage.
Swift, who's as white as the clean driven snow, got booed.
She got booed.
Her face, dude.
There's
that face of hers is unbelievable.
There's arguably not only the most famous woman in the world, but if you were to fragment it even more, the most famous Caucasian woman in the world, and you guys boo her.
She may be one of the most famous people. I mean, she's got more followers, like over 100 million Instagram followers.
She is on the level.
She doesn't post enough.
She is on the level of the superstardom of a Madonna, a Prince, maybe bigger.
Yep.
Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
But in performers, she's on the level of a Madonna. Exactly.
Maybe more, no. Maybe
It's
actually more now because
relatively,
Madonna didn't have the aspect of social media when she was rolling around.
Right, she could have.
She was just banging Dennis Rodman to hit the headlines.
Making books
out
about
stupid
her for
books.
JJ.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
This and my
Was it all pictures of her vagina?
Yes, it was.
I remember hearing about that.
Well, it was mind-boggling.
That's
Bubba, Dad had it on his coffee table.
Oh yeah, of course, the Madonna book.
Well, that is. Let me see.
You didn't give a
thing.
Wasn't she going after Vanilla Ice too?
Yeah. Rob Amy Winkle.
I think Drake won the beef. I like the Drake songs more. I don't even like Drake.
Hey, it's Frank. Don't drop 10 to 15.
I love Squabble Up.
On a new heating and cooling system.
Squabble Up, one of Kendrick's songs.
Of a no-name brand with no guarantees. With some massive markup that you don't have to pay. Visit HVACdirect.com today. Listen to the 20,000.
All right, now we can focus on the Bears, baby.
Top-name brand. Get expert tech advice. Have it shipped right to your front door.
Is it 30 year set? Is it 30 year?
Oh my God, Lummy, please. Put the money on the Bears now.
All right.
Hit all the overs.
I'm getting on it. Wins.
24.
Hit every over.
We're in the conference.
Take every over prop bet, Lummy. We are going big this year. Ben Johnson ain't fucking around.
Coach of the year?
Oh my God, give it to him now. I mean, just why even go through the pain?
MVP? Caleb Williams?
Ooh.
Well, let's not go that far.
Well, I'm trying to think, Lummy. I'm trying to think of anybody else on off. Anybody else? Nope. Caleb Williams MVP. Yeah, that works. Rookie of the year, Ashton Ginty from Boise State.
Oh, they're drafting him?
We're drafting him, yep.
Okay.
We're going to fix the O-line in free agency. We're signing Trey Smith from the Chiefs.
All right.
And then we are going to...
You're going to keep your wide receiver room?
Yeah. Keep wide receiver. We're going to use... We have 2 second-round picks. We're going to use one on a tackle, and we're going to use one on a another tackle.
Oh, okay. 2 tackles?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we're going to address defense and free agency. Could be a trade for Micah Parsons. We'll see.
Go ahead. Tom Brady on color.
We'll see.
Forward to it?
Oh my God!
No, not like, oh my God, Tom Brady's on color. Doesn't mean I
like
hear every word that he says.
You're interested to know what he's going to be like?
He's going to be analyzed the same way that the players are analyzed.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big moment for Tom Brady.
It is, yeah.
So I just wanted to see how he's going to do.
I'll just say that he's done
Why did you Why did you come over the top on me?
Because he's done so many Bills games this year, and I think he's awful. I do think he's awful. And I think
Oh, my God.
But why do you care?
He's awful.
You know what I'm...
He's not awful, though. He's pretty fucking good.
He's fine, dude. He's fine. Like,
Right.
he's fine. It was interesting hearing him commentate at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's
bringing stories.
I like him. I don't know why everybody.
He's
That just
fine.
shows you how. That just shows you how much fucking haters everybody is.
Well,
when something's really pretty good, then they just gotta fucking nitpick it.
That's why
apart.
everybody hated the Chiefs, Bubba, because they were good. It's why everybody hated the Patriots. Everybody admitted they hated Tom Brady until he came here. You know, I said, what if Patrick Mahomes comes here when he's 42? I was like,
love it.
Leave yourself open to that. Free your heart, show your greatness. And you never know who could come to Tampa. Because I think Mahomes is coming, in 10.
That would be amazing. Tampa, where all the old quarterbacks go to die.
Baker's going to play it out until he's Brett Favre, and then Mahomes comes in.
Perfect.
Amazing.
I thought you were going to say Aaron Rodgers was coming here.
No, I don't know. That worries me that someone's going to give him a shot.
Just let them know there's frogs that you can get high off of here.
Jeez. Look at the frogs.
Look at those frogs.
Oh, man. Well, man, Kellen Moore went out on top because he's going to be the Saints head coach.
Thank you, Group Phillips. Good morning,
He
everybody.
had an unbelievable NFL career.
Well, I mean, dude, they always, quarterbacks are smart. They're not always, the best. I think Kellen Moore is a great hire. I think that the Cowboys are going to look shitty for letting him go and not letting them be the head coach, and the Giants will look shitty for letting Saquon Barkley go for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kellen Moore is not the coach of the Cowboys.
I thought it was for sure. Oh well.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
JD Acco in the studio with us till 10. Well, actually about 7 till. Because he's got a big, or some type of Zoom hearing ruling. Now, Jay, formatically, how does that go? You will be on Zoom, the judge will be on Zoom, and then opposing counsel will be on Zoom?
Yep.
And is it just kind of a format kind of deal, or is he actually making not saying any names or what it's about, but is he actually making a ruling on something?
The judge should make a ruling on something. Yes, it's a female judge, and it's a local rules issue where when you get hometowned and some highfalutin lawyer comes from out of town and doesn't follow the local rules, it's kind of one of those situations. So
now, does the opposing counsel know that they're about ready to walk into a buzzsaw?
I've written every tactfully written email that I possibly can, reaching out to this guy to please just let's speak. The judge told us to speak after the last hearing, and this lawyer's refused to speak to me.
So your honor said, "Hey, listen, you two guys work some of this stuff out on your own."
Yep.
And because that's what I've heard that a judge actually say that verbatim. You two need to get together and get this handled before you come back to me again.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy, so you've reached out and said, "Hey, listen, Your Honor, advise us to get together," and he refuses to.
Correct. I mean, she said twice in the hearing, "You guys are some really smart lawyers. You're both here. Go outside and work it out." And so as soon as the hearing was over,
that's a judge telling. Yeah. That's basically a judge telling you guys, I don't want this case in my courtroom.
This issue,
you guys need to work this out. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
So
I had it on the federal level. I had a federal judge tell his magistrate to tell the two opposing parties that the judge just doesn't like this case, and neither one of you guys will probably like the outcome. If I was you, I'd work it out. That came verbatim. Now, see, in the federal system, you have a judge, and then you got his magistrate, which, basically is him as an extension of him.
Mm-hmm.
And magistrates later go on usually to become judges. Usually. That's kind of like the precursor to being a judge, is you're a magistrate for a dozen years or so, 10, 8.
Now, the judge is just saying, she's not requiring us to come to some agreement, but she's requiring us to speak.
Right.
And so the failure to actually have the professional courtesy to speak to us.
Now, are you gonna let Your Honor know? Your Honor,
Oh my God, yeah.
I have.
Of course I am.
I have X amount of documents stating that I'd like to speak to Johnny Yippee-O over here, and Johnny Yippee-O just isn't having it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to literally say, Your Honor, you were right on Wednesday. You're right now. We're falling on the sword. This is prime example of what's been going on for 5 years in this case.
Oh, my God, 5 years.
Yes, it's another one of like your defamation. 5 years in.
Mine was 4.
And my guy's asleep in the sleeper cab and is dead since 2018.
Your guy died.
Yes, he wasn't driving. He was asleep in the sleeper cab, and this case should have been settled 29 days after I filed the demand.
So hold on. So you got a trucker, just real vague, whatever you can and cannot say.
It's all public record, yeah.
Yeah, you have a guy that's a truck driver that's in a sleeper cab, and then I'm assuming the other people hit him.
No, the driver of the tractor trailer is hauling ass in North Carolina, going approximately 90 according to the trooper down mountains, and has to go down a runaway truck ramp. You see those with the gravel things
on the right hand side. It'll be like a runoff where if your truck loses control, you go into it and it's like really full of gravel and sand and then goes uphill to stop the truck.
Correct. And so they're made to stop a truck that's going at or about the speed limit or slower that's trying to slow. They're not made to go stop tractor trailers going 90. So it goes into this runaway truck ramp, and the spool of copper literally gets jettisoned through the entire cab and kills both.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so because those big steel wrapped up big rolls of copper and or steel,
the coils,
those things weigh like what, 40,000 pounds?
Yes.
And they're only held on by chain, which will hold them during transit, but not when you come to an abrupt stop going 90. It's going to break those chains off like they're rubber bands.
Yep.
And it just completely probably killed him instantaneously.
It did.
Now, who do you represent? The guy in the sleeper?
Yep.
And you're suing the driver?
Yep.
Okay.
And so, in 99% of those types of cases, you file your demand, and it's a 30-day demand, and it's such a clear case that they should settle it. He's got a surviving daughter who loved him very much. She's very young, believable, actually beautiful. And so, we're going to get a trial date. This judge, the first thing she said is, this case is 2018. It's going to be tried this year. I hope you guys don't have plans for summer.
Yeah.
So we're like, yes, Judge, we're ready to go.
Is opposing counsel not from Tampa?
Miami.
Okay. And there's a big difference the way Miami guys roll up in here. And Tampa's not Miami. Let's just say that. And not only, the 13th Circuit's way different than anything they got down there. So good luck to you today, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Today, will she set trial today?
I think she's going to set trial on the 20th, but today is just it's literally, Bubba, a hearing dispute over like written discovery. We want to try to subpoena these records, and we want to try to get that. And lawyers should be able to work that out.
And they're saying no.
Right.
So you're like, okay, we got to go in front of Your Honor for her to say that you need to give these records to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it's going to happen.
Well, they're even saying worse. They're saying that we've refused intentionally and with. It's so unnecessarily confrontational and adversarial, and it's just one of those cases that wears on me because it's such.
Well, you've been going at it 5 years, and it's a no-brainer. It should have been settled in 12 months.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's really no wiggle room as to the facts in the case speak for themselves. Guy was going too fast. He had to use an emergency runoff deal that's designed to stop a truck to go in the speed limit between 55 and 65. He exceeded that by a lot, which caused the big, 30,000 pound roll that they were carrying of copper or metal to whatever destination to come unchained and go through the cab and kill both. The guy at the wheel was driving recklessly. That's the problem.
That's exactly right.
Now, what's that worth? Let's figure it out.
It's pretty simple, and so we're on like a big whodunit over paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
To try to prove that my guy did something wrong while he was asleep.
Yeah, how did that work?
So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to go better this time than for the out of state or out of county lawyer.
Let me. Here's the supposedly. I don't know who picked these out, but supposedly these are the top 10 funniest commercials.
Yeah.
I don't know who picked this out, and I don't know necessarily that we'll agree with them.
Hey, how you doing? It's 2025, and advertisers are spending more than ever on Super Bowl commercials, with 30 seconds of airtime costing a
Let me note to self that we need to get some close-ups of the goats, and then have Rhett or whoever, Gary Cantrell or Macho Man, make them act like they're talking.
Perfect.
Seems like that seems to be working.
$8 million. What would you do if you had that kind of money? I'd buy a dozen eggs. Now, here are this year's top 10 funniest Super Bowl ads, chosen by me, 2 raccoons, and Taylor Swift. Number 10!
I already hate myself for picking this.
This is a good one, Lummy.
Terrico Bros. Sounded like
This is a great one.
Lummy got a great one.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. These are our people.
Our salty brethren.
It's the Ritz Cracker Company.
Yeah, you and me could learn something from her.
It's you and I.
Oh, hey, Gus.
You ain't giving me exact change.
Yeah, get over it.
He's salty, but I'm the saltiest.
Oh, saltier than me? When I smile, people assume it's a glitch.
Please, I'm the human version of Monday.
My personality cures meats. You are a salty freak.
Thank you. Why is Ritz so good? So annoying.
Buttery, salty show-offs.
Tan rica, huh?
Is that a smile?
Read the sign, Bunny.
Salty Club.
This is a salty club.
Salty. You're gonna get us kicked out.
So?
Woo! Hey. Hey.
Nice to meet you.
What did you do to me?
Ritz, loved by everyone, even the saltiest.
You wanna eat that?
No.
Thank you.
Bad Bunny, Aubrey Plaza, whose husband just died, and I know that guy was from Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, he's with Selena Gomez. Benny Blanco.
Okay, man.
Number 9!
I didn't even see this one.
Probably a third quarter, Willie.
Fourth quarter.
Here it is.
All right, so there's some kids that are going outside and look like they see a UFO. The 3 got flashlights, are running out of the street. They go around the corner and they see what's looked like some kind of ET kind of gimmick.
Yeah, a little gremlin.
And it shows a spaceship above him. So this is like an alien.
Do you have to go? You can stay with me. We can stay up all night and eat snacks. I'll miss you.
Here is something to remember me.
So the little alien son of a bitch put some kind of purple some kind of purple
to remember him by.
spell on
This seems
them.
like it's a pro-fentanyl commercial.
Pro-fentanyl.
That's what I'm taking. When you
Buy
dig
fentanyl
deep.
from your local Mexican guy that just crossed the border.
Is that the Mexican?
Like some of this.
We'll never forget you.
What about us? Yeah, what about the dads? You got any gifts for us?
And it shows their dad's now standing by him and the alien looking at him.
I didn't really talk to you much.
I talked to you. You lived in my garage.
You didn't know I was in there.
You ate all my pizza rolls. These are like $100. That's kind of a lot of money, Chasmo.
No, Totino's pizza rolls are 10 for about $1.
Well, then give us about $1.
Why do you even care?
I want something from an alien.
No.
But I'm messing up your spaceship.
It shows the dad going over to mess up the spaceship.
That's not doing anything.
Yeah, it is. He's pushing on it.
That doesn't matter.
It's moving it. I kicked.
The dad's doing nothing to the spaceship.
Nice. Good job. Yeah. Chasmo, give us something.
My name's not Chasmo.
What? Your name's not Chasmo? Why have we been calling you Chasmo?
You just started doing it.
What is your name?
I don't know. Names aren't like a big deal.
Yeah, they are, buddy. Yeah, they are. They're a really big deal.
Doesn't matter. I'm leaving.
This is stupid. This is the 10 best?
It's got to be 10 worst.
10 best?
We'll miss you, Jasmo.
I'll miss you, too. They're the most snackable pizza that you...
Unfortunately, that's just a part of life.
What the
No, it actually, Chasmo, they goes, the alien spaceship goes to close the doors, and Chasmo gets his head caught in the door and is dead.
That is...
We didn't know him as well as you, so it's not as sad for us.
Not that we didn't want to.
Just didn't open up around us.
Totino's Pizza Rolls, the most stackable pizza in the thing.
Stupid until the last 5 seconds.
I like it. I mean, it was really, really dragging on, but it saved face at the very end. Totino Pizza Rolls, which, by the way, man, I used to love. And let me, you could get them 10 for $1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you could get 10. You could get 10 for $10 back in the day. The Totino's flat pizzas.
Yes.
Oh, 99 cents. What are they now? Probably $3.
Yeah, $2-3.
All right, we've seen this one, and this is Matthew McConaughey that goes on and tries to tell that the NFL is trying to subliminally make you eat food. When we saw this actually last week because they leaked. Remember they leaked.
Yes,
they leaked the commercials.
Has been a banner year for the National Football League, or should I call it the National Football League? From the very beginning, football has been a conspiracy to make us hungry. And we'll call this a pigskin. Make people crave bacon.
I'm actually going to fast forward this, Lummy, because we've seen it already.
Yes, we have.
Right. Let me go here. All right, here we go. It's Uber Eats, right?
Uber Eats.
Ever since Reese's came out with their new chocolate lava big cup with a delicious layer of chocolate lava, people visiting the lava flows have been pretty confused.
That stuff looks delicious. I want to eat lava.
It looks so good.
Just a little taste.
Don't eat lava. Eat chocolate lava.
Get in my mouth, lava. Don't eat lava. Eat ooey gooey chocolate lava.
It's lava time, baby.
Don't eat lava! Eat new Reese's chocolate lava big cups!
I got to try one of those.
If nothing else, it got that in my head. It's good marketing for that brand. I want it. I want to try it too, Seth.
The next time I'm at the convenience store, I'm going to buy a Reese's lava.
No, there you go.
I really am. So it may be stupid, but I like Reese's, and I think that little chocolate lava kicker might be something I'd like. So I didn't like the commercials, but it did its job. I think every one of us in here are going to go get one.
It branded it. Lava Reese's.
Number 6!
Let's be real. Everyone's going to be a hot mess after the big game. Been there.
My son's favorite commercial.
Yeah, I would say. Who is this girl? Is she...
She's super famous. He knew her by name. I don't know her name. She's a famous model.
You know her?
Alexa Earl or something.
Done that.
I know she's... I know.
God.
Look at that.
Her from Instagram. She has a lot of followers.
I would say.
And I've got just
This is the Carl's Jr. deal, right?
Yep.
what you need to cure that post-party bug. The Carl's Jr. Hangover Burger. Egg, double bacon. Yeah, you need that double bacon. Charbroiled beef, hash browns, cheese, and sauce. Just the way I like it. And guess what? It's free the day after the big game. You just have to download the Carl's Jr. app and sign up for my rewards. So get your free Hangover Burger on Monday, February 10th. He'll definitely need one.
We don't have a Carl's Jr. here.
Or I'd be there in a second today.
Or I would be.
I'd be getting a free burger.
Does Hardee's work at all or no?
I don't know if Hardee's is the same. Is it?
They're owned, but yeah, they're owned by the same one.
That's the first time, Bubba, in 7 years that they've had a Carl's Jr. commercial. And so that's another one of those like epic, iconic changes in what's happening with like pop culture now versus if the other candidate had won.
Bubba, her name is Alex Earl, and she was born in 2000. Naughty boy. She's 24.
Naughty boy. Where's she from? Where was she born?
She went to the University of Miami.
Nice.
Oh, is she a Florida girl?
I mean, that's what
she might.
How many followers?
It says that she has 6 million, like on TikTok and then on Instagram.
I bet you it's 10 by the end of today.
We need to talk about your finances.
She's
Our
from
finances
Jersey,
are
Bubba.
She's from where?
She's from Jersey.
Oh, nice.
She just went to Miami.
Oh, I saw this commercial. This was horrible.
Fine. This doesn't add up.
I've been saving so much with Dash Pass. I can buy whatever.
What? No.
I saved $6 on my grocery order, so I figured I'd get a clone to do my shows for me. How are you? Where are you from? Albuquerque.
Okay.
$0 delivery fees on dog toys. I got me an opera singer that sings me compliments. She's so nice. Dash pass savings. Hey, big man. Equals. Oh, yeah, ballroom.
This is stupid. I remember I watched this live last night.
And saving $6 on my sticker order got me this. Now I can fly.
You need to stop spending.
Oh, come on. You're not listening. I'm saving.
Sound like Tom B when I was rolling hard and telling me you need to stop spending.
Give yourself the luxury of savings. Give yourself a pass with Dash Pass.
I'm all about savings, and I'm not doing any Dash Passion. By the way, I give that one a.
Once upon a time, there was a girl with golden locks. You know what? Maybe it was like a rugged, woodsy dude. Yeah. Too hard, too soft, too... This Goldilocks wanted something tastier. Those look just right.
By the way, I hate Dodge Ram trucks. Hate them.
Who is that? That's not Brad Pitt.
No.
I don't know who it is.
It's very... It's on the tip of my tongue.
He looks familiar.
Again, none of us know.
I think it's Fabio's son.
2500 Rebel to pick up some dinner. Pow!
Tastes like chicken.
Next, he took the Ram Charger deep into the woods to flex his artistic muscles.
Glenn Powell.
Then,
Who?
Glenn Powell.
Who the hell's that?
He was in Top Gun, Hitman.
fired up the Ram RHO for a little joyride.
What about the 3 bears?
This is my story. But yeah, the bears were there. And they all lived happily ever after. Sort of.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
That was the 4th greatest commercial. Here's the 3rd.
Number 3!
We've made contact with
Area 51.
a new alien species, and apparently they're food.
It's the guy from
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay from the chef gimmick.
Oh, food is the worst.
Mr. Ramsay will need you to cook for them. You'll have access to everything the Area 51 test kitchen has to offer, including top secret alien cooking technology.
Wait, that's just a Hexland pan. I've got these at home.
Unfortunately, it was leaked 8 years ago. The pan was developed using material from an alien spacecraft.
What?
Extremely durable, but low friction. Created to deal with the thick egg-like atmosphere.
You're saying the pan I used to fry my bacon is made out of flying saucers?
We don't have time for a science lesson, Mr. Ramsay. The alien ambassador is already here.
What the hell could they be promoting here?
The pans.
Oh.
$8 million for pans.
Whoa.
Not her. Him.
Hey, what's up, dude?
You're an alien?
Pete Davidson?
Oh, boy.
On a pan commercial?
All famous people are aliens.
I'm not.
I meant like really famous people.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Huh?
God.
Well, I'm glad he's doing good. I just read he went back to rehab, so I hope that was after everything. I hope so too.
Talking about Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
Mom, Dad?
This is actually okay.
Oh, this is the double David Beckham deal. We've already seen that.
People like that. They got that as a number 2 commercial.
Yeah, people liked it.
This
is it right here, the Dunkin' Donuts. This is with
This is the number 1.
Watch Belichick and his girlfriend in this.
This is the number 1 overall commercial. Looking for Belichick's 25-year-old girlfriend.
I can't believe they let us back in this place.
What?
Oh, no. Hello.
Nobody remembers that.
Oh, is this not the one?
Is this when Harry Met Sally gimmick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This Hellman's?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. They're saying this is the number 1 gimmick?
Something wrong?
It's not doing it.
No good?
Nothing.
Well, we can't have that. What's happening? Here we go. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So good. It's just. Woo.
Oh.
Still a throwback to her orgasmic diner scene.
Oh, it's real.
Yes.
Lunch and a show, huh?
Was that a fart?
Mm-hmm. I hadn't heard that one.
Was it him farting?
No.
What's at the end of it?
There we go. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So good. It's just. Woo.
Oh,
Oh.
this one's real.
Yes. Woo.
Now, who's farting?
Her.
Her.
She's farting?
Yeah, the camera's on her.
Oh,
Oh.
this one's real.
Yes.
Lunch and a show, huh? How about that?
Add that as a sandwich.
I'll have what she's having.
I'm competing with a condiment.
Oh.
So that's it.
Sydney Sweeney.
Is that the young girl?
She's the it girl. She was very covered up. She's known for her
tatas.
Scantily cladness.
Yeah.
Here are the top 5 worst. They're saying the Bud Light with Post Malone and Shane Gillis was a bad one.
It did. It sucked.
It was kind of stupid.
Well, could they make fathers look any more stupid?
Any more boomer?
I mean,
right?
With the long shorts. I mean, I know that's the purpose of the commercial, but for those of us fathers out there that strive not to be those dudes, this is just
Fellas, you wanna go fishing
falls
tomorrow?
flat.
I got a colonoscopy tomorrow.
I sent you the
Fellas,
Bill Belichick one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be something we might want to look into.
It's
Welcome to Java Jam, Battle of the Coffee Brand Bands.
Favorite Dunking. This ain't the Dunkings. Where the hell are Matt and Tom?
Forget them suckers. Matt Damon and Tom Brady don't have the heart of a champion. We got a new squad, Dunkings sequel. Affleck's and Belichick. Dunkings!
Is that Belichick's girlfriend right there?
Yep. And look at he's wearing a Dunkin' Donuts little onesie. This is
a hoodie.
Man, Bill, you're really selling yourself out. I thought being the head coach of North Carolina was bad enough. Now you're doing the Dunkin' gimmick with the girlfriend, putting her over.
A little more spirit on the, on the charge next time. All right. We got a 4th Dunking too coming. Oh my God. Hey man, is that coffee? What are you doing in there?
I'm just trying to find the character.
We got to battle the barista buds.
I'm all in for Duncan. You should have paid for Matt.
I told you that.
They've already seen this.
Dunking! About to get roasted!
Like a dark seasonal roast with coriander and slight balsamic drizzle.
Sounds like what's in my garbage disposal.
See you, coach. How much to wait a half hour to get?
Seen enough. Bud Light was the number 5 worst. The number 4 was the Coffee Mate?
Yeah, the cold film. Yeah, yeah. This.
Let's go, tongues. I'm a dancing tongue, and I like to taste it cold.
Shows a guy like doing all types of contortion things with his tongue.
Have you ever seen a tongue do this? Yeah,
Well, that's just gross.
It is.
everybody now.
Ew. There's a little bit of like homoerotic references in there, no?
Stupid. This foundation to combat autism. I'm sorry, anti-Semitism. This is the Snoop Brady deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
And we've seen it already.
Yep.
Yeah.
From different neighborhoods.
I hate you because you look different.
I hate you because I don't understand you.
I hate you because people I know hate you.
Looks like me talking to a couple employees here.
I hate you because I think you hate me.
Because I need someone to blame.
Because you talk different.
Because you act different.
Because you're just different.
The reason for hate are as stupid as they sound.
Man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to do a commercial about it.
Me too.
Stand up to all the hate. Using that for my show. The people that try to hate me.
Duncan tried to double down on their commercial that they made a 7-minute video about their commercial.
Oh my!
It's America's deadliest epidemic.
This is America.
74% of us are overweight. And obesity
This
leads
is, I think, the 4 hymns and 4 hers gimmick, right?
Mm-hmm.
to 500,000 deaths each year.
Why, you just have to stop eating, Jimmy.
This is America.
Something's broken. It's not our bodies. It's the system. Welcome to Weight Loss in America.
Like and subscribe.
A $160 billion industry that feeds on our failure. There are medications that work, but they're priced for profits, not patients.
This is America.
This system wasn't built to help us. It was built to keep us sick and stuck. But not anymore. Hims & Hers offers life-changing weight loss medications. They're affordable, doctor-trusted, and formulated in the USA. You get a treatment plan designed by a doctor to fit your body, goals, and lifestyle. You deserve to feel great in your body.
Lemmy, you and I deserve to feel great in our bodies.
You sure do.
Future of healthcare.
Not everybody. Just Dan and Dan and Jay can't be the only twos that feel good about themselves.
No, we do.
We have the right to feel good about ourselves.
This is Hims & Hers. Join us in the fight for a healthier America.
All right, and then finally, Lemmy, that's it, isn't it? That's the five worst.
I thought Meg Ryan was looking pretty good.
Yeah, I thought she was looking pretty good too. Lemmy, what did you send me anything else? No, that's it.
No, that's it for those.
Something a little weird going on with her face, I thought.
Here is a lot of people that watch the Kendrick Lamar halftime extravaganza. Basically the Kendrick Lamar 15-minute anti-Drake. Drake is a pedophile infomercial, which, man, it wouldn't be. I got to be honest with you, Jay. I think that they would be getting the NFL and Fox are going to be getting served soon. Even if it gets thrown out, I mean, you throw that against the wall to see if it sticks. It just could potentially stick. It might get thrown out, but it also could stick. And if it sticks, Fox and the NFL is writing this guy a settlement check immediately. They don't want this thing to drag through court, right? And depositions and NFL executives having to agree that they knew about the questionable lyrics and they approved of it and all that.
Well, so they're kind of screwed because either they knew or they should have known. Right. So when if they don't want this case to ever get to discovery and to emails and to depositions, because they'll have to have some executive say, well, did you know about this lyric? And if they said yes, that's a problem.
Right.
And if you said no, well, that's a problem too. So they're kind of screwed if they do and screwed if they don't.
A performer in the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime was detained on the field and could face charges after unfurling a combination of Sudan-Palestine flag with Sudan and Gaza on it. This is, I think, I'm trying to find the actual video.
I sent you the video this morning.
Yeah, I
think around 4.
Right, I just got to find it.
The guy looked really. So I thought somebody.
He looked unhinged.
Well,
I
thought it was part of the show, and then I thought somebody ran on the field, and then I realized it was a backup dancer or somebody involved in it, and then they went completely rogue with this. Like they were in the halftime show, and they pulled out the flag, right?
Yeah,
that's nuts.
They were actually scheduled to be in the show. They were like one of the performers, and then they kind of went rogue and pulled out this Sudan-Gaza flag. Right there that you see. He was actually one of the dancers that were all in black that were doing various body movements and stuff like that. And then he just went completely rogue. Let me hear it is. Right here it is. I'm so sorry. Here it is. So sorry. Let me get the volume up here. And you can see him. See, now, like he doesn't get tackled right away because he's actually supposed to be there. He is... he is part of these backup dancers right here that nobody would think second of until he whips this like out of his crotch or wherever, out of his sweatshirt or wherever he had it folded up. Now, if you see first, it looks like this old bag.
Yeah, an old woman.
She comes out of like nowhere. Check this out. Hold on.
Feathered hair.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here. And she comes out of nowhere and chases him off the riser. He jumps. She does.
That's a high jump.
That's probably 8 foot.
Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at these people that are sitting down here and the distance between their, what's the average?
It's probably at least 6 feet.
Oh, no. It's more like 8.
Yeah. He just jumps right off of it.
And I mean, man, my knees would explode.
Yeah, that hurt me just watching it.
Look at this. And now he gets to scampering down the field part. And again, all these people here are performers that are supposed to be there.
I mean, that's a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do people feel represented when stuff like this happens?
I don't have any idea what a person would feel when doing something like this. Like, don't you understand that you're going to get tackled and you're going to get arrested? There's no way around it.
Especially at this Super Bowl with the president and the Secret Service. There.
Right.
You're getting a takedown.
Yeah. But I mean, Seth, I think this is the second time that he's gone front and back. Like, this is just his second lap, so to speak.
Well, like I said, when I saw this originally, I thought it was a planned part of Kendrick's show. There's really no way to know that this guy went rogue.
Right.
If you're just watching it as security.
Right.
Oh, there they go.
Looks like Secret Service.
Wow, yeah, you don't see a lot of guys get tackled by guys in suits.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how many guys in suits are coming from the sidelines.
Which shows you it's all Secret Service, because usually your local, law enforcement are, suited up with regards to their outfit, their, the cop uniform. Only the Secret Service has suit and ties on, and that's who gets this guy real fast.
I tell you what, I bet they'd rather take a bullet for Trump than have to worry about yoking some idiot up off the field.
Yeah, that's not high up on the Secret Service accomplishment list.
Yeah, and they're dragging him like a sack full of potatoes. Look at this.
I mean, can you hit him with the? Can you hit him with the trespassing if he was supposed to be there? I mean, what do you get him with?
I think you can hit him with disorderly.
looks
Something like
he's
that.
banned for life. For any football.
You mean he can't do the halftime show next year, Lummy? No. How are we going to know the guy had a mask on?
No,
that was another angle. Oh no, yeah.
This is actually a better angle.
You can see how tall it is from the guy next to it.
Yeah, but you can also see one of the main focal points of the way that the Kendrick Lamar thing started was Kendrick Lamar actually started on this car. The whole thing started when he was on this car.
Yep.
So this was a major prop. The car was a major prop at the beginning of Kendrick Lamar's deal. And so this guy here looks like to be in a gray outfit, which was what all these background dancers by the car were in. So he probably was an original, he was a background dancer for the opening segment of when Kendrick Lamar was on the car. And he was probably doing his little background dancing deal. They all coordinate. And then at this time, you were just probably supposed to stand up there and, maybe continue to dance in a certain way. And he whips out this Gaza Palestinian flag gimmick. See now, this. See, Seth, it looks like this to be maybe a production assistant.
Yeah,
or
she's a stage director.
Right? Exactly. She's a stage director, and that usually hides behind some cubbyhole a little bit, and they're doing the sound and the choreo, make sure everything's going good. She comes up and tries to stop him, and that's where he jumps off this look to be 8-foot riser. Now watch this. Ready? Hold on. So if you look at it, Lummy.
And this is the end, by the way, Bubba. This is his last song, I'm pretty sure. So that's why people might have thought this was part of the show.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, then back 5, 10, 15. Now 5, 10, 15.
Oh, here we go.
Here comes the business.
So he... I mean, if all you got's trespass and you never can be part of a Super Bowl celebration again, big whoop.
Yeah, it says he's individual will be banned for life from all NFL stadiums and events.
Let me do some words. We'll wrap it up next. Hold on.
If you love that segment, BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Now I gotta pay. Now I gotta find out what's going on in the Sudan.
Yeah, I didn't know that Sudan was in play.
Well, I mean, now he brought awareness. He did his job.
And is Sudan part? Isn't it a country right by Jordan? I think.
I thought it was in Africa.
I think it is. I think it's up there in the Middle Eastern part. Of
Yeah, Northeast Africa. Northeast Africa. Northeast Africa. Luca's first game tonight.
Oh. What is going on in Sudan?
What, Dan?
Sudan.
Oh, I don't know.
I figured you like this is a sports anniversary for my dad's ring. This is a 2002 Super Bowl ring.
Oh, wow. That's so small.
That one is actually wearable. So we wear them on Super Bowls. Danny had the trophy on last night, and it's just so big. So that was Tiffany and Company, 2002. Says Diaco on the side. Has his engravings on the inside. It was super. I mean, so cool.
No, that's awesome. Man, if they won.
Before having it.
Yeah.
Well, the ones the Bucks just won, did they get like the ones that like open?
Yeah, Danny had that on last night.
Oh, that was one. Okay.
Yeah, and it was. It's like a trophy. It's too big. Yeah. This is actually wearable.
That's how they've started to make them. They've started to make them just as gaudy.
Put them in a
as
trophy
possible.
case.
Yeah, that's nice, Jay.
Yeah.
Where's Jay? Is he leaving?
No, he's got a Zoom with the attorney, with the judge right at 10. So we're gonna get him set up back there on a Zoom call.
Oh, okay. Dun. Let the off season begin. Draft time, baby. People tell me to go hit my weed pen as an insult. It's weird people that drink will try to make you feel bad for getting high. That's weird. Weird. But I understand that sometimes just rednecks just can't be making much sense with their put downs. What's up, Hawkeye? Nick Sirianni probably had the worst press conference ever to an introductory head coach. Everybody said he was going to fail.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. Like, yeah, he was so nervous.
The people at Philly hated
yeah. They hated him earlier this year, Lundy.
No, they hated him. It was almost like the day from Ohio State.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Sirianni Day.
He did a good job. He did a real good job, man. But how he stacked that team. You're all good, man. I'm not judging anybody. I just people as a put down like to do that.
That GM though he started in 2000 with the Eagles.
Do you remember that they buried him when they brought Chip Kelly in?
Yeah.
They made him. They demoted him and shit.
Yep.
And then they brought him back up.
Back after Chip Kelly got fired.
Yeah. That's a loyal dude, man.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Today, Lummy, Seth will do the uncensored after show that you've all grown to love on Mondays, or maybe not.
Well, I'm doing it.
No, I said that they've grown to love.
Oh, okay.
That they've grown to love, maybe not.
No, they like it.
Available on all of our podcasting avenues, Bubba Army HQ, Spotify, iHeart, Google Play, you name it. Wherever you get your podcasting, just type in The Bubba Army, and you'll see our whole roster of podcasting, some of which is new that we're trying out. How did the Dark Match Steve stuff go up?
Yeah.
Did it do okay?
Yeah, it's doing well.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Lummy, it looks like, Randy Moss, I think he has cancer. Doesn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And what a good dude. This guy's always been a good dude. He's not like been a Terrell Owens or a Odell Beckham Jr.
We had some trouble early on. Didn't he run over like a mall cop or something when he was in Minnesota? Hey, it's the past. It's the past,
It's
Bubba.
the past.
It's
the
the
past.
past.
He's cancer now, okay?
He's got cancer now. He's always a pretty good dude. I think he was from Virginia. Got that Southern accent.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Definitely a Hall of Famer.
The greatest.
Has he been inducted yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So he is the greatest of all time.
I would have to agree. He's up top 3.
Jerry Rice even said it.
Anyway, he made his emotional return.
So, Bubba, they showed before this, and they showed a minute and a half of Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, all of his former, Justin Jefferson, Dennis Green's widow. They rolled of all of these people telling Randy Moss that they love him and how much that he means to them. Jerry Rice said that he's the true GOAT. So then they're coming back. So this is Randy Moss after seeing everybody.
After the little montage they put together.
Yeah.
Kind of people that have been in his life or you played with montage, and now they went to commercials, and now this is the comeback.
Yeah, now pretty much everybody recorded theirs on TV, but somehow Bill Belichick called in his praise to Randy Moss, so they were
live as it was happening.
No, just like they got a crunchy, bad, staticky cell phone. So that was what they played.
Y'all already know it's the big crybaby here, man. Hey, y'all, I couldn't do it alone. And I really thank y'all, NFL, my teammates. I've seen Pep, I've seen Miss Green, I've seen Brady, Belichick. Hey, guys, it's been hard, but I got a lot of love and a lot of people believe in me, man. So I'm happy to be here, man. You said, Greeny, don't do it again. Let's get this show started, man. God bless you all, man. God is good, man.
I will say that we just broke a promise to Randy Moss. We told him.
Now, is the prognosis looking good for him?
He's got a pretty serious form, I believe.
It's on his bile duct, right?
Yeah, bile duct. He got it removed, and I know he was going through radiation and chemo. I remember we were talking about. Brian looked it up, and it looked like it's pretty bad. I don't know his diagnosis, but I mean he looked good. So
good. Hopefully, there's some good news, or that he's done radiation and chemo, and maybe
it's great that he's back though, Bubba, because he left probably
good.
like 7 or 8 weeks ago, and he was on a week. He was on a week on ESPN, and I guess people were tweeting or writing in saying that his eyes looked really yellow.
Yeah,
and then he went to the doctor, and then he just
they found out what was wrong with him.
Yeah, and then he was off the air. So
for 2 months.
So that was a big big return for him.
The LeGarrette Blount is selling his jerseys that he wore in Super Bowls. What, 2 of them?
Yes.
And he's also selling his ring.
Is he struggling?
He was on the Eagles?
Yeah, he was. You didn't know that? Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't he the guy in college that really took a hack at somebody? Beat the crap out of a guy?
After Boise State, he was at Oregon.
And didn't he get criminal charges against him because he beat up a guy?
And he dropped his
and then
draft
he played
status.
and then he played for the Bucks for a while, did he
Sure
not?
did. Him and Josh Freeman.
They got him as a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a good career, man.
Did he?
Yeah, he bounced. He was supposed to be in the top the 3 rounds, and then he was an undrafted free agent
for beating the crap out of a dude.
Yeah, for knocking that guy out.
I appreciate you, bud.
Thank you,
Seth,
Bella.
appreciate you.
Thank you,
Macho Man. You guys want to call it 10:30, 10:35, 10:40? Well, I'm just going to sit in my massage chair. Let me you and Seth name the time that we fire back up. 35?
35.
35.
35 it is.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.